Good evening, baseball fans. Paul Solomon here, standing in for Mike Rose. Tonight, bringing you the MANOR Mustangs baseball on Vype Live. Out here, a big game tonight for MANOR. MANOR is going to match up again in the second game of a two-game series against Pflugerville Connally. The Cougars won the first game the other night, 1-0. So it's going to be up to the Mustangs tonight to pick up a big win here at home in MANOR. Looking at the standings in District 18-5A. Right now, Pflugerville High School is on top with a record in district of 3-0. They're 11-4-3 on the season. The Hendrickson Hawks are right behind them. They're also tied 3-0 in district, but they're 10-8 on the season. We've got Weiss and Elgin, both 2-1 in district play. Weiss is 9-7 on the season. Elgin 6-13. Pflugerville Connally, the team that's in here tonight to play MANOR, is sitting at 1-2 again. That one win was the win just the other night against MANOR by a score of 1-0 at Pflugerville Connally. The Cougars are sitting at 2-11 with one tie also on the season. Bastrop also 1-2 in district play, 3-6 on the season. MANOR checks in right now along with Cedar Creek at 0-3 in district, but the Mustangs are 6-5-1 on the season, so ready to get going here in district play. They've done a very good job in non-district and about to hopefully pull out a big W tonight here against Pflugerville Connally. Looking at the starting lineup tonight for Pflugerville. For Pflugerville. For Pflugerville Connally, starting lineup, the pitcher on the mound is Justin Santos. Santos is joined by his battery mate, Kevin Schreiner. Over at first base, Anthony Rojas. Felix Salazar at second. Cesar Arazipe at shortstop. David Webster at third. Outfield, we've got Nicholas Ramirez in left, Easton Baboa in center, and Ozzie Tackett in right field. Having a couple minor little technical issues. We'll see if we can get that sorted out real quickly. Sorry about that.
Batting 9, playing left field, number 2, Nicholas Ramirez. Head coaches, David Williams, assistant coaches.
And again, this Paul Solomon here at MANOR. Had a little technical issues. We were getting started with the game here. We're still in the pregame warm-ups. Just announced the Pflugerville Connally players, and I'll go through the lineup in just a second. Getting ready to announce the MANOR Mustangs, the home team. Paul Solomon sitting here tonight for Mike Rose with Vype Live, bringing you the broadcast tonight. Back in the studio, we've got Nathan Nunez, making sure that you're able to see and hear everything. And we'll try to go through, and again, we'll reset things multiple times during the course of the evening. So we'll see if we are able to get everything up and lined up. So real quickly, kind of walking through the lineups first for the visiting Pflugerville Connally Cougars. Pflugerville is 2-11-1 on the season, 1-2 in district play. The one win was the other night against the MANOR Mustangs, 1-0. On the mound for Pflugerville tonight's Justin Santos with Kevin Schreiner behind the plate. From first base around to third, we've got Anthony Rojas, Felix Salazar, Cesar Arazipe, and David Webster in the outfield. Starting in left, Nicholas Ramirez in center, Easton Baboa, and Ozzie Tackett over in right. Now for your home team, the MANOR Mustangs. On the mound tonight is Hunter Staff, Catcher, Carlos Beltran. We got Daniel Garcia at first, Deuce Adams at second, Julian Vasquez at short, Eric Fox at third. The outfield, Marcus Gonzalez in left, Ethan Jimenez in center, and Ezekiel Flores in right. Now the national anthem. Yeah, that was a nice job singing the national anthem tonight here in Manor. So again, let me go ahead and highlight the Manor lineup. So batting tonight for Manor, and I'll go through it again when Manor comes up to bat. But leading off is going to be Julian Vasquez, the shortstop from the Mustangs, followed by Nicholas Derelict, the designated hitter. He's hitting for Ezekiel Flores. Hunter Staff, the pitcher, at batting third. Carlos Beltran batting fourth, the catcher. Ethan Jimenez in center field batting fifth. Deuce Adams, second baseman batting sixth. Daniel Garcia at first base batting seventh. Eric Fox, third base batting eighth, and Marcus Gonzalez in left field. So again, for Manor, we're going to have Vasquez, Derelict, and Staff, your top three. Beltran, Jimenez, and Adams, your middle three. And Garcia, Fox, Gonzalez, your bottom three. On the mound right now, Hunter Staff warming up again. His battery mate behind the plate is Carlos Beltran. A couple of quick technical issues, but trying to get that sorted out and resolved. Apologize. Hopefully we'll do a better job of keeping this stream going tonight. Hunter Staff on the mound, getting ready to start this game off. Looking in, getting the signal from Carlos Beltran. Pitching to the center fielder, Kevin Schreiner. Schreiner steps out. Going to reset this all over with. So for Pflugerville tonight, we've got Schreiner, Webster, and Rojas, so your top three. Staff comes in, deals, ball's fouled straight back, comes all the way back to the screen. Going to be out of play. Nice pitch there by Staff, getting the game going. Strike one. So again, your top three hitters are Kevin Schreiner, David Webster, so Schreiner catcher, Webster at third base, then Anthony Rojas at first. Staff looks in, gets the sign, comes set, brings it home, comes way inside, actually comes behind the back of Kevin Schreiner. That one just got away from Staff just a little bit early in the game. So that stuff happens. Going over, picking up, and tossing the ball back was David Webster, the on-deck batter. Staff again gets the sign, looks in, 1-1 count, brings home. There's a nice pitch. Took something off it on the inside part of the plate for a called, well, swinging strike, I should say. Makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 and 2 here. Early stages again. Paul Solomon sitting in for Mike Rose on behalf of Vype Live here in Manor. Second game of a 2-game set between these two teams. Pflugerville, Connally. The Cougars won the first game 1-0. Manor trying to even the count. There's a curve. Ball is hit straight to short. Coming up with it, Julian Vasquez. It's kind of the old can of corn, as they say. Ball is just popped up there. Vasquez does a good job, settles under it, makes the play. 1 up, 1 down. So nice job by staff, got ahead, and that's really where you want to be, and I'm sure, that's where Coach Connally is wanting, that's what he's talked to his players about. You get out there and pitch, you try to get ahead of the batters as much as you can. Webster up, first pitch, just barely inside. Home plate umpire took a really long look at it. That came just inside to the right-handed batting David Webster, the third baseman for Pflugerville. 1 out, top of the first. There's a nice pitch. Brings it in rather. Comes basically, that was about 3 inches inside where that last pitch was, and right over the black on the plate. Picks up the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Staff comes set, looks in, brings it home, gets Webster way out in front of it. Again, staff took something off. Nice job there by Carlos Beltran framing the pitch and calling for where he wanted it. And that makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes. So nice job so far by staff. Got ahead of both batters by 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the ball hit down to third, just past the outstretched arm. Picked up by the shortstop, flies it way over, not going to be in time. So just got past Eric Fox. Julian Vasquez slid over a long way, was able to make the play, tried to get it to first in time, but that's an infield single by David Webster. Nice job by Webster right between third and shortstop. So runner down at first base, 1 out. Again, you got to give staff some credit so far. He's been right around the plate, other than the 1 ball behind the back of Schreiner, but been around the plate through the first 2 batters. 1 out, 1 man on. Anthony Rojas, the first baseman for Connally, is up. Down at first base, Webster takes a lead. He's kind of chased back over to first, as there's a quick kind of toss over by Hunter Staff to Daniel Garcia. It's nothing quick. It was just an easy toss, reminding Webster that Staff isn't where he's over there at first. Webster picks a big lead, almost gets picked off there. Nice play by Staff. He saw Webster take a big lead, threw it in, wasn't able to get the tag quite in time by Garcia. As a result, safe over at first base as Webster. It stays 1 out. Runner at first base. Not as big a lead this time for Webster. Coming home, Staff, and that is fouled the third base side by Anthony Rojas. So far, Staff through now his 3rd batter. 9 pitches. He's had 7 strikes. So that's a really good start. Again, right around the plate. Like to see that continue. Runner down at first base. Webster kind of shading his eyes with the sun. Looking over their Staff. He throws it back over. Ball gets away from Garcia, but not far enough for Webster to go anywhere. So he kind of stays where he was. Again, runner down at first. 1 out. Got no balls, 1 strike to the number 3 batter, Anthony Rojas, the first baseman for Pflugerville. Staff comes in, comes set. There's a shot out to left field. It's going to drop in there for a clean single. Picking it up out there in left is Marcus Gonzalez. It's a nice shot by Rojas as he was able to put it out in there on a line, and that sends Webster over to second base. Rojas down to first. We got runners on first and second. Only 1 out here in the top of the first inning by Connally. It's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, number 3, Ozzie Tackett. Tackett, the right fielder. Got to be ready down at third base. Eric Fox. You got runners again, first and second. Quickly going out to the mound. Beltran's going to go out and talk to staff, make sure they've got the signals set, I should say. Down at second base, you've got Webster. So Webster's able to look in, and you want to make sure that you've got your signals set between the catcher-pitcher here. So Beltran goes out there, they visit, comes back. Staff's ready to go. 1 out, top of the first and second. Staff looks in, takes a look back towards second, brings it home, takes something off, and gets the call on the curve. Nice, pretty pitch coming in. Again, Staff all over the plate so far. He's only had 2 balls through the 4 hitters now, and so he's done a really good job. Of course, you know, got to keep moving the ball around a little bit so the batters don't get comfortable in there. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners first, second. Staff comes home. Outside part of the plate, picks up a strike call on the outside. Nice job there. Moved it to the outside with a fastball. And it's now no balls, 2 strikes. Again, runners first and second. He's got an opportunity to kind of change the eye level here if he wants. Do a waste pitch or throwaway pitch, as they say. We'll see if he does that. Tries to keep Tackett off balance. He comes inside. Tackett fouls it straight back. Wasn't anything wasted about that one. He just came right at him, and Staff was trying to get the punch out right here. Now, of course, obviously you'd love to see a ball go out that would go to Julian Vasquez at short, perhaps to Deuce Adams at second, give them an opportunity to turn a double play here. Again, no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Staff comes home, runners moving, and that's picked up at shortstop and thrown back to second base. Vasquez with a great play as Webster was off on the hit. Vasquez makes the catch, throws it back to second base. On second base, Deuce Adams, and that's a nice double play. We were talking about a double play. That wasn't exactly the way we planned it, but that worked out perfectly. Nice job there by Staff. 4 hitters, and he's able to retire them. Not necessarily in order, but he gets out of there. He does give up 2 hits. Gets the big 1 out double play down at second base, and we're through the top of the first inning. Score 0-0. Connally had no runs on 2 hits, no errors. They end up leaving 1 on because of the double play, and we're through the top of 1. And we're going to see MANOR come up at bat in just a second. But a nice job there by Staff making the pitches he needed to make. And after making those pitches, he was able to get a nice double play on the ball hit to the shortstop, that being Julian Vasquez. We'll take a quick break. We'll bring it right back here in just a second. You're listening to MANOR Mustangs Baseball, and you're watching MANOR Mustangs Baseball on Vype Live.
Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, one of the largest broadcast networks in Texas and the nation.
Check us out at VypeVYPE.com.
Vype is the leader in high school sports broadcasts. We've been doing it for 15 years.
3rd and 13. Not yet. Another reverse. Breaking tackles. Dives to the end zone. Touchdown Rangers.
16 seconds. Really close up the corner. Rotates to Wilson. She fires the 3. Oh my God! It went in. Cavaliers pull ahead by 1.
Log on to VypeVYPE.com.
The first inning there, pitching by Hunter Staff. Staff again gave up 2 singles, but then he threw the nice pitch for the double play ball. Ends up with the catch by Julian Vasquez. He flips it over to Deuce Adams at second. They were able to pick off David Webster, who was off on that pitch. Double play gets out of the inning. So now bottom of the first for MANOR, leading off Julian Vasquez, shortstop, followed by Nicholas Derelick, the designated hitter, then Hunter Staff at pitcher. Pitching for Pflugerville is Justin Santos. Santos deals, comes home, a little bit high. Nice eye by Julian Vasquez. It's always that way that it happens, where a player comes into a game, ball comes right to him, player makes a play right there like Vasquez did. He happens to be the first batter in the bottom of the inning. First and second pitch coming in. It's nubbed off down the first base line, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Santos again pitching, battery mate behind the plate, Kevin Schreiner. Got a quick pause while we're picking up that foul ball. Santos looks in, gets the sign from Schreiner, comes set, brings it home. It's going to be a little bit outside. Good eye by Vasquez. Vasquez hitting from the right-hand side of the plate. So you got a righty-righty matchup here with Santos, also a right-hander. Santos not taking much time. He looks in, gets the sign. Looks like they may be getting ready to work the inside of the plate. It comes way high. Ball pops out of the mitt of Kevin Schreiner. So that's a 3-ball, 1-strike count. We'll see if Vasquez is taking on this particular pitch. Like to get base runner on, then try to make something happen if you're Manor. Santos looks in, comes home. There's a shot out towards left field. Going back, the left fielder going to catch it out there. Ball kind of tailing away from him was Nicholas Ramirez. Julian Vasquez gave it quite a charge, but it's caught out there in left field by Nicholas Ramirez. So that's 1 up, 1 down. Coming up now for Manor. Again, you've got the designated hitter, Nicholas Derelick. He's designated hitter. You've got Ezekiel Flores, the right fielder, not batting. So Derelick batting for Flores, if you will. Pitch comes set. There's a ball on the outside part of the plate. It's poked over, foul, over the dugout of Connally. So strike 1, if you will, on Derelick. That really was a deep shot there by Vasquez. It just hung up in the air a little bit for him. But he hit it hard, hit it on the nose, as they say. Pitch is high and inside, a little pop to it. So it's 1-1. That's a pitch there. Santos just kind of reared back and threw it. Got away from him just a little bit, left it high, but he had some velocity on that particular pitch. Santos comes home. Strike. It's a little foul tip there, I should say. Falls out of the mitt of the catcher. So Derelick now behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Manor again. Bottom of the first. It's a gorgeous night here out in Manor. You can see some shadows over the field. Over time, we'll see them a little bit more pronounced, and then we won't see any shadows by the time this game is over. We got a full moon out there on the right field side. Pitch way outside. It's going to be 2-2. So the moon's out right now, and it is like I said, it's a full moon high in the sky over right field out here at Manor. 2-2 count. Santos looks in. He kind of shakes off Schreiner as a result. Derelick does a smart thing. He steps out, kind of gets reset, takes his time, gets back in. 1 out. 2-2 count, bottom of the first. Pitch comes home. There's a shot right back to the pitcher, and it's picked up there by Santos. Throws over to first. A little bad luck for Derelick because he hit it hard right back through the box, but nice job by Santos putting himself in position. Makes the play. 2 down. Bottom of the first. Hunter Staff, the pitcher for Manor, is now up. So we've got the pitcher-catcher battery coming up, if you will. Staff is up right now, right behind him. Carlos Beltran on deck and would come up here in the first if Staff can get on base. Santos looks in. Righty-righty matchup. Comes home. Nice pitch. Strike over the plate. Staff taking the entire way on that one. Both pitchers so far have been consistently around the plate, and that's the key. If you can get ahead of hitters, you've got a good opportunity. There's a pitch on the outside part of the plate. Nice job by Staff. He kind of looked at it, waved at it slightly with his bat, kept the bat back though, didn't go around, makes it a 1-1 count. Again, Santos not taking any time at all. He comes set, he comes inside, that ball kind of kicks up. They're going to say that Staff waved at it on this one. Home plate umpire calls it a strike. So now we have 1 ball, 2 strikes here with 2 outs, bottom of the first. Manor, of course, in their home red uniforms. You've got Pflugerville in their green uniforms. It's kind of a green and black. Pitch comes home. There's a shot right through the hole between third and short. And Staff with a nice shot out through the hole. He's on. Manor, first base runner of the game with the clean single out to left field by Hunter Staff. Now that's going to bring up Carlos Beltran, the catcher, and we'll see whether or not Staff is off. You know, you don't normally see pitchers being ones that steal a lot of bases, but Staff's got some speed, and we'll see whether or not he'll be off or if they try to get something going. 2 down, runner on first base runner, first hit of the game. For Manor is the pitcher, Hunter Staff, now down at first base. Pitch comes home, Beltran with a big shot. It comes high over to the shortstop, Cesar Arazipe, who picks it up, so he throws over to first and out. That was first pitch swinging there by Beltran. Ends up with the ground out over to the shortstop. That ends up getting us through the first inning. We're through 1. Looking at that one, you have no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 person left on base. Through 1 full inning now. Your score, Manor 1, Pflugerville, Connally. Manor 0, Pflugerville, Connally 0. We'll bring it right back here in just a second. You're watching Manor Mustangs baseball on Vype Live.
Hey, buddy, you say you wish someone was covering your favorite high school sports teams? You just couldn't make it to the game and you need to find out now what's going on? Well, my friend, your prayers are answered. Go to Vype, VYPE.com and hit Find Your School to see what Vype is saying about your great community. See for yourself why Vype is the leader in high school sports coverage in Texas. Check us out at Vype, VYPE.com.
We've got Hunter Staff coming up to bat. The number 5 hitter, Justin Santos. Santos, the pitcher. So pitcher-pitcher matchup. Righty-righty matchup, start of the second. Staff comes in, fires outside part of the plate. Strike 1. Nice job so far by Staff pitching tonight. Both pitchers, nice job in the first inning. Staff with a foul tip at the plate by Santos. First inning, Staff threw 14 pitches. Santos, 15 pitches by my unofficial count. No balls, 2 strikes. Staff trying to get ahead, comes home, ball's high, and nice job there by Santos watching it. It's a good pitch by Staff. Again, trying to change the eye level a little bit by Santos. We'll see if he comes back on the inside part of the plate here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out here. Top of the second, looks on the inside part of the plate, and that ball is going to be hit a long way and gets over the head of the right fielder. That's Ezekiel Flores. Flores gets it, brings it, throws it back in. Standing on second base is Santos. Santos did not look like he caught all of that, and that ball took off and went out there, was able to get over the outstretched arms of Ezekiel Flores and rolls out almost to the fence. Flores able to scramble over there. Now, part of the issue that Flores, you can see him kind of shading his eyes right now. The sun, we talked a little bit earlier about the shadows. The sun is such that if you're out there in right field, that sun is going to be in your eyes quite a bit still, at least for the next couple of innings. So runner on second, nobody out on the double by Santos. Up at bat right now, Cesar Arazipe looks at perhaps bunting. Pitches a little bit on the outside, but he kind of waved at it. Picks up the strike call at home. He was looking at bunting Santos over to third. Arazipe is the shortstop for Pflugerville. No balls and a strike. We'll see if he's looking to bunt again here. Creeping down at third base, you've got Eric Fox. Over at first base, you've got Daniel Garcia. Both of them in a little bit. Garcia in quite a bit. Pitch comes home. He is looking to bunt. He bunts it right in front of the plate. Nowhere to go except towards first. A little bit of a throwaway, and as a result, Santos is going to come all the way around and score. So what happened there, just kind of resetting it, we'll see if they call that an error or they call that a hit. It was a bang-bang play at first. It was a nice job bunting by Arazipe. He ends up putting it in front of the home plate. The catcher, Carlos Beltran, goes out. He's going to throw it to first. Deuce Adams is trying to get over there from second base in time, is not able to do so when Beltran throws it down there to first. He's unable to get the out in time, and as a result, Santos comes around to score. Arazipe goes to first. There's another bunt going down, and that's going to be a fair ball, as that ball was bunted by Felix Salazar down the first base line. That was running right down the line. Hunter Staff comes over, gets a mid on it, but it was going to be a really hard play. It's a bang-bang play. He makes the decision to go ahead and try to pick it up. Not able to do so, so now Pflugerville already one run across the board, and now they've got an opportunity here with runners on first and second. We're going to have a quick mound visit and discussion. But it's 1-0. We've got now back-to-back hits. I was waiting for the official score on that particular one. That one I would call a hit, too. That was a bunt that stayed right down the first base line, right where the chalk is. And then at the last second, Staff knew he really couldn't let it go any longer. He tried to stab at it and pick it up and throw it down to first, was unable to do so. As a result, over at first base, Felix Salazar with the bunt. On second, Cesar Arazipe, who bunted right before that. He was trying to bunt Santos over from second to third. His bunt was so good, he was able to bring Santos all the way home. Mound visit over. Runners first and second. Still nobody out here in the top of the second. 1-0 Pflugerville with the early lead here at Manor. Got a lefty at this point, Easton Babola batting. It's going to put a little pressure on Daniel Garcia over at first and Deuce Adams at second. Runners first and second base. Salazar at first, Arazipe at second. Staff looking in. Gets the sign. First left-handed batter of the game. It's a wheel route. They're looking, as you saw from third, Eric Fox was creeping up quickly. Over at first, you had Daniel Garcia creeping up, and that put kind of the wheel going, where Vasquez is heading over to third base to cover it, and you've got Adams heading over to first base. It's going to put a lot of pressure on your third and first baseman, Fox and Garcia, to make the play. 1 ball is an outside pitch to Babola. You got time called at the plate. Home plate umpire comes out, looks over, says a couple things to the Cougar dugout, and now we're back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a pitch outside, just off the outside part of the plate. Home plate umpire gave it a long look, but just off the outside part of the plate. So nice job by Babola. He's forcing Staff now to do something he's not really wanting to do. He was trying to nibble and see if he couldn't get Babola to hit to where he wanted the ball to go. With it being 2 balls, no strikes, kind of forces Staff to come in here. Comes high and outside, and it's now 3-0. That's a big pitch coming right up right now for Staff. He was kind of cruising a little bit and then hit this, 1 ball that was really hit deep by Santos for the double out over the right fielder. And after that, it's been very short, 12-foot sort of hits. There's a ball high, fanned at it slightly was Babola, but he didn't go around. As a result, now bases are loaded, and we've got an early challenge for Manor. That's the first walk of the game. First free pass issued by Staff. Loads up the bases. Does give the chance now for a play at the plate if Manor wanted to do that. It also gives them an opportunity to have double play started at any base. So there's a force all the way across the diamond. but it is a one-run game already for Pflugerville. Bases loaded. This inning so far, 3 hits and a walk, a double, a single, and now a walk. Walk being to Easton Babola. We've got the number 9 hitter. That's Nick Ramirez. So Nick or Nicholas Ramirez, the left fielder for the Cougars. Staff looks in. Big part of the game right here. Manor's got to try to keep Pflugerville from opening this thing up right now with nobody out and bases loaded. First pitch low and inside to Ramirez. Staff goes back out to the mound. Again, down at first base, you've got Babola. Second base, Salazar. Third base, Arizipe. Staff looks in, looks over to third, gets the sign, comes home. There's a nice pitch right across the plate. Ramirez kind of rolled his shoulder, and you see that often where they're trying to convince the umpire the ball's inside. That was a beautiful pitch right across. It was on the inside part, but it was over the plate. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out here. Top of the second inning, bases loaded. Staff comes home, swing and a miss. And that's so last 2 pitches, really nice job by Staff. He went inside part of the plate, picks up the strike, and then he comes all the way across the plate, outside part, a little bit off the plate on the outside, but he got Ramirez going with the action that Staff was able to put on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs, bases loaded. Staff comes home. There's the ball hit between third and short. That's going to bring in 1, and it's going to keep the bases loaded as Ramirez with a clean single, and that makes 5 straight base runners, and that's going to make it 2-0 also for Pflugerville. But 5 straight base runners and 2 runs here in the game, and we've seen a double, 3 singles, and a walk. So we're going to go to the top of the order in a 2-0 game. Kevin Schreiner, the catcher, up. First pitch, low and inside. Schreiner, first time up, he flied out to the shortstop. So he hit a little shot over. Julian Vasquez picked it up. 1 ball, no strikes, bases loaded of Cougars, nowhere to put them. Staff looks in, gets the sign, comes set, brings the pitch home, and gets the strike on the low strike call. It's a good call. It's a good pitch right at the knees. Down at first base, you've got Garcia in on the grass. Over at third base, you've got Fox in, so they're trying to cut the runner down at home. Staff looks in, gets the signs, comes set. There's a shot down third base, just foul. It's going to dribble over to the Manor dugout. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Staff got ahead of Ramirez, who's sitting on first base right now, standing there. Same way, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and then Ramirez, hit a shot between third and short. Staff would like to get a strikeout right here. There's a ball that's hit way up in the sky, going to come to the backstop, and right in front of me. So almost could have reached out and got it. It came right over the screen, ended up bouncing between where I'm sitting and where the screen is. It has been picked up there. So it's going to reset now with 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, nowhere to put him. Now the sun kind of has gone behind the clouds a little bit, which will help anyone over in right field, including Ezekiel Elliott, who's over there right now for Manor. Staff comes home. That was just a little high. That's one that the Mustang faithful wanted a called third strike. Beltran framed it and thought he may get the call. It was a little high. It's going to stay. It's going to make it, rather, 2-2. Staff comes home, 2-2. There's a shot. It's going to go sky high out to short left. Caught out there by the shortstop. Nice play by Julian Vasquez. He goes all the way into short left. That ball was up there a long time. Picks up the call. Nobody picks up the out. Nobody moves up. And that's the second time tonight they've been able to retire the leadoff hitter, Kevin Schreiner. So nobody moves up. Still bases loaded, but that's a big first out. Now you've got the opportunity, brings the double play back into place. David Webster's up. Webster singled in the first inning, and then he was called out, and he hits a deep shot out there towards left field. It's curling away, and it's going to be just foul. That's one. Marcus Gonzalez was on his horse heading out there quickly, was not able to get there quite in time. That ball curls just foul by a few feet, but that is a shot by David Webster. Hit that ball deep out there. But it's a long strike. That's all it is. Heading out to the mound, Beltran's going to talk a little bit with staff, get the sign set. So again, in the first inning, Webster singled. He ends up on second base, and then he's doubled off on a shot that Julian Vasquez at short catches and flips back over to second where Deuce Adams was. Bases loaded, one out. There's a pitch, strike two. Nice job there. Comes on the outside part of the plate. Staff was able to get the call out there as Webster was looking and quickly ahead. No balls, two strikes, staff. Bases loaded. You got to be careful with where you put this one. Webster, good power. Staff comes in, deals, and there's a shot. Going to go towards second. Have a chance at two. They get one at second. They throw it to first, and then not quite in time at first base. It's going to bring a run home, but they are able to pick up the out at second base. So Webster gets down to first. Out at second base is Ramirez on the fielder's choice. Babola down to third, and coming in was Salazar with the third run of the game. Two outs, though, for Manor. It's a big out there, and at this point, giving away one run, but picking up that out, you can live with it if you're both teams. There's a shot down to third base, picked up over at third base, firing over to first. Nice leisurely throw, and it gets away from the first baseman. So Fox kind of took his time and eased it over to first. The ball got away from Garcia. It's going to bring another run in. Babola comes in to score. Heading down to second base is Webster, and over at first base on the error is Rojas. Makes it 4-0. Runners first, second. Now you've got to minimize the damage at this point. You've given up 4 runs. Got to try to stop the damage right here. First pitch comes in just a little bit low to Tackett. Tackett is the one that hit that shot in the first inning to the shortstop, Julian Vasquez. That Vasquez caught, flipped over to first base, got Webster and doubled him up. So 1 ball, no strikes. That pitch is inside and it hits him. It's going to load these bases up again. So down at third base is Webster. At second base, Anthony Rojas. Over at first base is Tackett, who was hit by a pitch there.
Number 18, Justin.
It's going to bring up Justin Santos. Santos hit a double, start this inning off, and he hit it out over the outstretched arms of Ezekiel Flores in right field. Comes around, scores the first run of the game. He's got the only extra base hit here in the game. 4-0, Pflugerville. Bases loaded. Big place in the game right here. Need an out. Nice curveball, strike one. Really nice pitch there by Hunter Staff with the curve there. Looking in the outfield, over in left field, Marcus Gonzalez back, a little bit shaded towards the left field line. Center, you've got Ethan Jimenez on the second base side. There's a low strike. Santos didn't like it at all. It's not a good thing normally when you're pitching to show a reaction as a batter because you'll be on the mound in a minute. Santos not real happy with the low strike call there, and he's going to hope he can get that same call when he's on the mound. No balls, 2 strikes. Staff way ahead now. Comes in, and he almost, I was going to say, he's going to get him to swing. Santos held off at the last second. He watched it all the way in to the mid of Beltran. It's a really nice pitch there by Staff. Again, kind of changing the eye level, see if he couldn't pick up a strikeout with Santos reaching. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. Pitch outside part of the plate. Strike 3, and that's a big strike right there. Huge strikeout. And that is the first strikeout of the game for Staff. That's a big strikeout. There are 10 batters that come to the plate, including Santos on a couple of occasions, but Pflugerville, basically they ran through the lineup. And this particular inning, they end up getting 4 runs in the inning off of 4 hits. So 4 runs on 4 hits. There was an error, a hit by pitch. And as a result, Pflugerville takes the early lead 4-0. 4 runs, 4 hits. They leave 3 on base, and that's a big number right there, 3 on base. We'll take a quick break. We'll bring it right back here in just a second. You're watching Manor Mustangs Baseball on Vype Live.
Hey, buddy, you say you wish someone was covering your favorite high school sports teams? You just couldn't make it to the game and you need to find out now what's going on? Well, my friend, your prayers are answered. Go to Vype, VYPE.com, and hit Find Your School to see what Vype is saying about your great community. See for yourself why Vype is the leader in high school sports coverage in Texas. Check us out at Vype, VYPE.com.
Second, and you can look at the pitch count, and that usually gives you a pretty good indication. So first inning, pitch count for Staff, 14. Second inning, by my count, 31 pitches. That gave up 4 hits, 4 runs. You had a hit batter, you had an error, and bases were loaded. So, that's a positive the Mustangs can take from the conclusion of that inning. So looking here now, the bottom of the second, leading off is going to be Ethan Jimenez. So we've got the center fielder Jimenez, followed by second baseman Deuce Adams, first baseman Daniel Garcia. First inning, Santos with 15 pitches. Righty-righty matchup here. Santos deals swing and a miss by Jimenez to start us off here in the second. So Mustangs kind of dug a little bit of a hole here, but we're still real early in this game. Just bottom of the second. It is 4-0, but bottom of the second. Just got to get base runners on. There's a shot. It's going to go out towards center field. Settling under it out there. It's going to be dropped out there. Easton Balboa dropped it. And as a result, over at first base on the error, Ethan Jimenez. So that's one where if you basically, Balboa had probably a little bit too much time, and the ball sailed at the last minute on him, hit the mid, popped out, goes down at first base. Ethan Jimenez on the error, brings up Deuce Adams. Manor, base runner, down at first base. Santos looks in, righty-righty matchup again, comes home, swing and a miss on a big cut by Deuce Adams. So that's again, you end up the top of the second with that big strikeout, with the bases loaded by Hunter Staff, and as a result gives you some positive momentum. Then you get kind of the unexpected gift there, if you will. Ethan Jimenez is now down at first base on the error by Pflugerville. So runner down at first, nobody out. There's a shot towards shortstop. Going over to field, it's going to be off his heel and not going to be able to get it. Cesar Arazipe made a nice play ranging to his right to stop it. Came off the heel of the glove. And hustling down to first base is Deuce Adams, and over to second base is Ethan Jimenez. That's going to be a close one. I got to think they're going to call that a hit, because that would have been a really hard play by Cesar Arazipe. So runners first and second, and that's a really positive development for Manor. Again, nobody out. Daniel Garcia, the first baseman, up. Down at first base, you've got Adams second base. Jimenez swing and a miss home. Santos continues to deal around the plate. But it's, again, a real positive. Again, you take that positive from the top of the second with that big strikeout, and then in the bottom of the second, looking to bunt perhaps. At this point in time, Garcia prepared to square around. Santos saw that, wheels back towards second base, scrambling back in time, Jimenez. So Jimenez down at second, being held on out there by Cesar Arazipe. Santos looks in, gets the sign again, looking to bunt. Garcia, the pitch way outside. He doesn't offer at it. The catcher, Kevin Schreiner, kind of gives the thumbs up, as in that's the right play there for Santos, because you want to see whether or not he's going to go around or not, that being Garcia. So 1-1 count. Garcia looks to bunt again. He turns, squares. Pitch comes home. He bunts it in the air, and it's going to drop. It's going to drop in time, and he's going to not. Oh, what a great play. I think they're going to say they got him down at first base. What a really nice bunt by Daniel Garcia with the sacrifice. Sends the runners to second and third. But it's a really nice pickup there by Kevin Schreiner, firing over to Anthony Rojas for the first out. So a sacrifice bunt by Garcia moves both runners into scoring position now. First out of the inning by Garcia brings up Eric Fox. Fox, the third baseman, his first time up tonight. Down at third, you've got Jimenez. At second, Deuce Adams. Opportunity to bring in some runs, cut into this 4-0 lead. First pitch is going to be high. A lot of times the games slow down a little bit once the base runners get on. Santos slowed down slightly, but he's not taking much time still. He looks home, looks over to third, comes home. There's going to be a strike across the plate as Fox was taken all the way on that one. So you've got the single by Deuce Adams, which was right after the error that allowed Ethan Jimenez to get on base. Those are your two base runners. Daniel Garcia bunted him over to second and third. Santos comes home. There's going to be a ball hit in the air. We'll see if it comes out of play, and it does. Hits the top of the roof here, so gets everyone's attention. It's a ball that came back over the backstop. And Santos now ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's where Fox has got to put the ball in play. He was protecting on that last pitch. If he can put this ball in play on the right side, down towards second, first base, you're going to be able to bring a runner in, that runner being Ethan Jimenez down at third. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners second and third. Santos comes home. Pitch is high. Good eye there by Eric Fox. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 4-0 as Pflugerville scored 4 runs in the top of this frame. Manor's trying to come back. There's a pitch. It's going to be, they're going to call strike 3 looking. Ball looked a little low to Fox. The home plate umpire thought it looked just fine, and that's going to be a strikeout. And that's the first strikeout of the game for Santos. And you now have 2 outs. Now you've got Marcus Gonzalez, the number 9 hitter. Left fielder, runners again, second, third. Want to cut into that with a good opportunity with runners second, third, only 1 out. So like to see if you can't find a way to get Jimenez home from third. That pitch is inside, and that's going to hit him. Gonzalez, nice job there by Gonzalez. He knew it was coming inside, knew he was going to get hit, went ahead and took the hit. And as they say, he, quote, wore it. He ran down to first base, didn't rub it, He got on base, hit by pitch. It's going to load the bases up, and it brings us back to the top of the lineup. Julian Vasquez. Vasquez flied out to left field first time up. 2 down, bases loaded. First pitch, it's going to be a curve inside corner. I don't think Manor dugout liked that call necessarily, but curled in apparently at the last second. So we had bases loaded in the top of the inning. Now we've got bases loaded in the bottom. That ball is going to be slapped foul towards the first base side, and quickly ahead Santos of Julian Vasquez. No balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. Santos looks in, comes home, goes outside. Nice job there by Vasquez laying off. That's a hard one there to lay off with, 2 down, 2 strikes on you. Ball's about 4 or 5 inches at least off the plate, if perhaps not a little bit more, but it's across the plate from you. It's hard to lay off. That ball's low. Again, Vasquez watches it. He's now even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2s are wild here. 2 down. Santos asks for a different ball. Home plate umpire is going to oblige as he throws it into Kevin Schreiner, his catcher. Gives everyone a chance and gives us a chance to reset real quickly. So Ethan Jimenez down at third base, got on with the error. Down at second base, Deuce Adams with the single. Over at first base, Marcus Gonzalez hit by pitch. Pitch comes in, there's a shot down third base, just foul. So Julian Vasquez has a chance to tighten this score quite a bit. 4-0, 4 runs in the top of this frame by Connally. 4 runs on 4 hits. There was an error, also a hit by pitch in the top of the frame. But a huge strikeout by Hunter Staff, pitching for MANOR. Was able to get his opposite pitcher, Justin Santos, who's on the mound right now with that big strikeout with the bases loaded. Santos looks in. Julian Vasquez swings and misses. So same thing happened in the top and in the bottom of the inning, and that is bases loaded and there's a strikeout. So that gets us through 2 full innings. Score is 4-0 Pflugerville here in the second. No runs. You had 1 hit. You did have the 1 error. 3 runners left on base, so we're through 2 full innings. Your score is 4-0 Pflugerville. I'd like to quickly give a shout out, if I can, for Academy Sports and Outdoor for all the ways you love to play. Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to gear up and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store. Gear up this spring at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Listen to a little bit of the music here. Long game, but it's a quick 4-0 lead through the first 2 frames by Pflugerville. Pflugerville again ends up with the 4 runs in the second. Looking there for Santos. 19 pitches in that frame. He had 35 in the first. That brings him up to 34 now on the night. And that usually is a dead giveaway with the pitch count. And the first inning for MANOR, Hunter Staff, had 14. He had 31 in the second. Staff here comes back for his 3rd inning of work. Coming up to bat here in the top of the 3rd. Number 2, Cesar Arazipe, the shortstop. First time up, he singled. Came around to score the 2nd run of the game for Connally. So he's 1 for 1 tonight. First pitch, ball 1. Sun's gone down now, and a pretty night here in MANOR. There's a pitch low and just off the plate. It's going to be no balls, 2 strikes. At this point, I think Coach Cazzoli wants his pitcher, Hunter Staff, go out, throw strikes. Let's try to get in and out of this top of the frame. Ball's in the dirt quickly. 3 balls, no strikes. And I got to think Arazipe is going to be taking all the way on this pitch coming up. They do a quick change of the ball. Both pitchers have had one at least that they didn't like, so they swap it out. Staff looks in. It's going to be a strike. It's one where Arazipe acted like he was going to bunt just to try to see if that couldn't distract the pitcher, Hunter Staff. It didn't. He pulled the bunt back, of course, and now it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Staff comes in, inside pitch, swing and a miss. It's a really nice pitch there by Hunter Staff. Battled back. It's now full count. So it's a big first batter. You always like to get that first batter in the inning. Connally won the other night, 1-0. This is the second game of the 2-game series, home and home series. There's a swing and a miss, and you got to give a lot of credit there to Hunter Staff. He ends up the last 2 batters he struck out. He struck out Justin Santos with the bases loaded in the top of the second. He comes out here down 3 balls, no strikes, comes back with 3 big strikes to Cesar Arazipe in the top of the third, and that's 1 out. Bringing up Felix Salazar. Salazar singled. First pitch, strike. Salazar singled and came around ultimately to score the 3rd run of the night for Pflugerville. So he's 1 for 1 tonight. Staff 1 out. Looks in. No ball, strike. Puts a little too much on that one and overthrows it. Puts it in the dirt. It's going to be 1-1. He just reared back a little bit on that one. Been around the plate all night. He has 1 walk, 2 strikeouts tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Staff comes home. That ball's going to be fouled out of play. Come out a little bit past us out here, quickly ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Salazar. Again, if from a Manor standpoint, I'm sure Coach Gazzoli would like nothing more than to see a 3-up, 3-down frame right here. This ball's going to be fouled back. It's going to come back over us again. It's going to remain 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on. Just a perfect night for baseball here in Maynard tonight. Staff comes in. It's going to be fouled down the third base side. Hustling down to first is Salazar. He's going to get an opportunity to come back. So he got a quick exercise down to first base. He'll come back and we'll try this again. It's going to remain 1 ball, 2 strikes, even though Staff has already thrown 4 strikes with the 2 fouls. Staff looks in, gets the sign, brings it home, and that ball's hit straight towards center, settling out there under it. Ethan Jimenez, and Jimenez makes the play. 2 up, 2 down. Staff up to 12 pitches this inning. This is going to bring up the center fielder, Easton Babola. Babola walked in the first inning again. Babola is a lefty, and we hadn't seen anyone other than Babola all night as a lefty. Babola walked, came around, scored the 4th run of the game for Pflugerville. Staff looks in. Babola bunts down the third base line, coming up, crashing. Third baseman fires over towards first. It's no good. And that's a new third baseman down there. Heading down towards second base is Babola. He's going to get there on the air. And I'll see if I can catch real quickly who the new third baseman is. So down at third base, that's Dominic Picasso taking over for Eric Fox. Picasso came up, fired over towards first base. Throw got away from the first baseman. It's going to be an error. Heading down towards second base is Babola on the error. So 2 outs, runner down at second, brings up Nick Ramirez. First pitch low. There's a ball fouled. Again, we have Dominic Picasso down at third base now at this point, taking over for Eric Fox. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nick Ramirez. Runner down at second base is Babola on the 2-base error. He's been on both times tonight. Staff looks in. gets the sign, trying to keep that runner from coming home from second, keep it a 4-0 game. Comes in. There's going to be a throw back behind him, and they've got him picked off. Far down towards third. And sometimes that's what happens. They get the pickoff. So Picasso comes into the game, makes the tough throw down to first base, and then ends up being able to make up for it with the nice play as he was able to get the tag in the rundown on Babola. And that's a really nice job there by the catcher, Carlos Beltran. Beltran saw Babola off the plate, or off the bag rather, at second. He fires down towards second base. Down there you had, I believe it was Deuce Adams. It was either Adams or Vasquez. As a result, Babola knew that he wasn't going to get back to second in time. He takes off for third, the fire down to third base to Picasso. Picasso runs him back towards second and tags him out along the way. Ramirez will actually come back up in the top of the fourth inning, and he'll actually start all over, even though he had a couple of pitches to him. But that gets us through the top of the third. In the top of the third, you had no runs, no hits. You did have an error, and you had nobody left on base, and that gets us through 2.5. Your score is Pflugerville Cougars 4, your Manor Mustangs 0. So on that particular inning, I count 15 pitches, which brings staff up by my very unofficial count. Kind of doing a little bit of everything. So my very unofficial count, that brings staff up to 61 pitches tonight through 3.5. Looking out on the mound, and it looks like Santos is back out there for his third inning of work. We'll keep it right here. Throwing down towards second base. Catcher, Kevin Schreiner. Again, 4-0 here now, bottom of the third. The Mustangs, they get out of the top of the second with the strikeout, bases loaded, almost get a run across in the bottom of the second, come out of the top of the third, and now here we are, Nicholas Derelick, the designated hitter. We got a little mound visit by Schreiner. Derelick grounded out to the pitcher back in the first inning. This is his second time up tonight. Comes back in. So Santos and Schreiner obviously figured out what they needed to. Santos looks in, comes home to Derelick, comes inside. Nice job by Derelick. Was either going to hit him or stay inside. It was a very soft curve. Derelick watches it come inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Santos looks, Derelick. So it's a righty-righty matchup with these two. Santos comes home, and that one does hit him. So he almost hit him on the pitch before. This time he did hit him. That's the second hit by pitch tonight, and actually that's the second in the last 3 batters by Santos. And the most important part about that for Manor is it puts a runner down at first base, and it's going to bring up Hunter Staff. Staff had a really nice single between third and short. First time he was up tonight, he's 1 for 1. He is the pitcher, so you've got the pitcher facing pitcher with Santos and Staff. So down at first base, Derelick, Staff at the plate. Nobody out, bottom of the third, 4-0, Connally. Staff steps out as Santos took a little bit longer. Derelick hit by pitch before. Doesn't have a big lead down at first base, being held on down there by Rojas. Santos looks in, comes home. It's going to be just off the plate. Nice eye there by Staff. Here's where you just want base runners. So if your Staff, if he pitches you one in there, go for it. But otherwise, make him pitch to you. Go ahead and take a walk. If he's going to give you one, make him pitch to you. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch is going to be fouled out of play. It was on the upper half of the outside part of the plate. Well, it's going to be a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike. So far tonight, coming into the bottom of the third, 34 pitches by Santos. Been very efficient so far. Had a little bit of traffic. Soft toss over to first base to Anthony Rojas. Darrell gets back. Didn't have much difficulty getting back there, but so far tonight, Santos has not had a whole lot of trouble. Had a little bit in the second, in the bottom of the second. That pitch is inside, running quickly down towards second with the stolen base is Derelict. Waiting for the call at home, and it looked like he called that a ball, so that's going to end up being a really nice play. Ball at home makes the count 2-1, and it is. They were asking to make sure that they were straight on it. So down at second base with the stolen base is Derelict, nobody out. Runner in scoring position, Staff now 2 balls, 1 strike to him. Waits for the ball. He hits it sky high. It's going to be out towards shortstop and third baseman. Third baseman comes over. Webster makes the play. That ball was in the air a long time. So first out here in the bottom of the third for MANOR. Brings up Carlos Beltran. Beltran, first inning, ends up hitting the ground out over towards the shortstop on a ball that second hop came up nice and easy for Cesar Arrazipe, and he fires it over to first. This time he's got an opportunity to bring a runner in. Here's a ball that they're going to call a strike. He thought it was a little high, but they called it a strike. Again, Derelict down at second base, hit by pitch. He ends up stealing second, and then Staff flies out to the third baseman, which, you know, he caught the ball really about where shortstop normally stands. Santos comes home, swing and a miss. He took a lot off there, and Beltran was way ahead of that one. Got a little eager on that one. So no balls, 2 strikes. Got to put the ball in play right here and try to move that runner to third or find a way to bring him home. Santos comes set, looks back towards second where Derelict is, comes home way high. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. You've got the third baseman, David Webster, a little bit tighter towards the line, and you've got your shortstop, Cesar Arrazipe, right over at second base. So there's a huge hole between short and third. Pitches outside. Of course, that's part of the reason why you'd pitch him on the first base side of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But if Beltran can turn on this one, he's got a ton of space between shortstop and second. Between third base and second base. Ton of space with your second base covered by your shortstop. There's a shot. He hits it towards the second base, towards the shortstop. He fires over to first. So he hit it on the nose, but he hit it exactly where Arrazipe was standing. He's grounded out to him twice. This one was a tougher play by Arrazipe. If he could have found a way to pull that a little bit more towards the third base side, you know, Derelict would have been able to come all the way around. Derelict now down at third base. Derelict was second base with nobody out. He's now down at third base with 2 outs. Ethan Jimenez is up. Jimenez got on in the first inning. There was an error on the center fielder for Connally. He got stranded at third base when that inning ended in the bottom of the second. First pitch high. Again, runner down at third base. Good opportunity for MANOR to tighten this score. 4-0 Connally here. Bottom of the third. It's now nighttime. Sun's gone away entirely. And the moon's a lot brighter than it was. Santos comes home, swing and a miss by Jimenez. 1 ball, 1 strike. Derelict down at third base. Connally with the lead here. Connally again 1-2 in District 18-5A in district play. 2-11-1 on the season. MANOR 6-5-1 on the season. 0-3 right now in district play. Santos throws it in the dirt. Nice stop there by Schreiner. Had that ball gotten past him, Derelict likely comes in and scores the first run for MANOR. 2 balls and a strike. Santos looks in, comes home. There's going to be a strike. Took a little bit off, and he's now 2-2. So, again, the twos are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on. Runner down at third base, that being Nicholas Derelick. There's a ball fouled back. It's going to stay 2-2. So kind of looking at the upcoming district games, we've got, of course, Connally right now. Next Tuesday, there's a home game Manor has against Elgin, followed by an away game on Thursday at Elgin. So home game on March 30th, and then an away game on April 1st. Santos home, swing and a miss. The ball gets away from the catcher. Quickly going down the first base line, and he's safe at first, and the run's going to come in. So that's all hustle right there. Ethan Jimenez gets down there on the strikeout. He's able to beat the throw. Ball got away from Kevin Schreiner, and coming home to score the first run of the game is Nicholas Derelick. So it's now 4-1 and a runner down at first base. It's all hustle. They're going to have a little discussion about it. We'll see if they ask for any assistance. It was clear that Jimenez beat that throw down to first. And so as a result, it is 4-1. It's all hustle right there by Ethan Jimenez. Deuce Adams, the second baseman's up. First pitch in the dirt. Nice block there by Schreiner. So Adams, in the second inning, had a single, ended up getting stranded on second base. So run in here in the top of the third on no hits. We have a hit by pitch, and then we have the hustle on the strikeout at home by Jimenez, allowing Derelick to come in. Derelick stole second. There's a pitch, going to be just a little low. Santos didn't agree with that call. Deuce Adams did. So Deuce Adams quickly ahead. 2 balls and no strikes. It's a perfect hitter's count right here. Runner down at first. We'll see if Manor has something going here. You put the runner in motion or not on a 2-0 count. Clearly Jimenez has good speed. He legged that strikeout out as the ball got away from Kevin Schreiner. 4-1 now is your score. Bottom of the third inning. 2 outs, runner at first. Santos pitching for the Cougars. Fires over to first base to Rojas over there. Getting back over to first base without too much difficulty was Jimenez. So Jimenez back over at first. Again, his hustle is what brought in Derelick, who had hustled down to second base on the stolen base. So Derelick comes in, scores the first run. Jimenez down at first. Deuce Adams. There's a pitch low and outside. So now it's 3-0. And at this point in time, you got to think that Manor may be taking all the way here. Coach Cazzoli may have Deuce Adams take, and if he gets a walk, you now got runners on first and second. If not, it's 3 balls, 1 strike count, and then you're back to forcing Santos to make another pitch. Pitch comes home, taken all the way, strike 1. Sometimes that is the hardest pitch to throw, and that is a pitch where you know the batter's taken all the way. 3-0 count. You overthink it. Nice job there by Santos. He looks back over to first. Jimenez gets back over there. Santos doesn't throw it. He just kind of looked over there, gave him the look, and that was sufficient for Jimenez to stroll back over to the base. He takes his lead again. Not a huge lead off first base. Santos comes home. There's a shot. It's going to be through the hole between first and second. No, it's not. Second baseman got over there in time. That ball was not hit as hard as I thought when it left the bat of Deuce Adams. I thought that was going to be through the hole, and the ball just went a lot slower than I thought it was. With that, play is made by Felix Salazar. Throws over to Anthony Rojas, and that brings us to the end of the inning. And so we're through 3 full innings, but that was a productive inning for Manor. Manor is able to pick up 1 run. They do it on no hits. There is the error, on the throw down to first base, which is all really based upon Jimenez's hustle, but you have the strikeout, the ball's dropped out of the catcher's mitt, he's got to pick it up, scramble, they'll call that an error, and as a result, you have 1 run in, 1 out, and now it is a 4-1 count. So again, a productive inning there for Manor as they pick up a run, and we're going to head now to the top of the 4th inning. Got the chicken dance music going. So again, I always look at pitch counts. They don't tell the entire story, but they sure give you a pretty good idea. That was so far for Santos. He's 15 pitches first, 19 pitches second, 21 in the third. Manor breaks through, scores a run in the third. If you look at on the flip side for Staff, 14 in the first, 31 in the second, 16 in the third. Pflugerville ends up with 4 runs in the second. So again, number of pitches, oftentimes fairly indicative of number of base runners and in turn potential runs that come in. We're going now to the top of the 4th inning. It's going to bring up again Nicholas Ramirez, and again the thing to remember is Ramirez was up a second ago, and then all of a sudden he ended up not being up because again you had the rundown with Babola. Babola was at second base, he got picked off, and so you go back to Ramirez being up. No balls, 2 strikes, as quickly ahead of him is Staff. Staff's ready to go. Ramirez steps out, and Staff he had the ball ready, and he seems to be feeling it right now. He comes set, he comes home, overthrows that one a little bit. He was trying to get the punch out right there. So, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 4-1. Pflugerville with the lead. Here we are, top of the 4th inning. Staff comes home, good pitch, swing and a miss, and he picks up the strikeout. That's his 3rd strikeout of the evening. So 1 out here as we go back to the top of the lineup. So top of the lineup for Pflugerville, Kevin Schreiner, the catcher. Schreiner he's 0 for 2. He's flied out to the shortstop. Both times he's been up, Julian Vasquez being the shortstop, both in the 1st and 2nd inning. Here he is in the 4th inning. First pitch, ball 1. Staffs looks in, he's ready to go. Righty-righty matchup, comes home, throws a curve, stays high. So 2 balls, no strikes. Again, here's where you just want to force them to put it in play. Schreiner fakes like he's going to bunt. Staff doesn't have any problem with that. Nice pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Again, trying to distract the pitcher by putting the bat out there, pulling it back at the last minute, see if he can't pick up a ball. Doesn't bother Staff. Staff comes inside. There's a shot through the hole, and it's just past the diving attempt by Julian Vasquez. Schreiner heads down to first base, and he's on for the first time tonight. Clean single through there. Vasquez with a gallant try, just not able to dive and make that stop. Game of inches. Again, just a little bit ago, you had Beltran up, and Beltran hit a ball that Cesar Arazipe standing near second base right to him. Here you have one that's pulled just a little bit out of the outstretched arms of the shortstop for Manor, Julian Vasquez. It brings up David Webster. Webster, been a little bit problem for Manor tonight. So Webster ended up, he's been on twice. He singled in the first, and then in the second, he ended up getting on via the fielder's choice, and he ropes one that's going to be foul, but he hits that ball a long way. One hops over the fence, out towards the back fence. It's over the side fence on the left field side, but he turned on it quickly. Again, Schreiner down at first base. No balls, 1 strike. Webster, the third baseman. There's a strike. Beautiful pitch there by Staff. Webster watching the entire way, and Staff puts it through there, and quickly Staff's ahead. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's what we'll see if he puts one off the plate, tries to pick up a swing and a miss on a ball that Webster really can't reach. Runner down at first. He goes out, and he does just that. He puts it out there. Webster not able to reach it, and really smart pitch there by Staff. If he puts it off the outside of the plate, Webster trying to protect with 2 strikes, not able to. And nice job there. 2 strikeouts so far in this inning. Staff is 3 strikeouts out of his last 6 batters. Runner still down at first base is Schreiner. Again, Schreiner got on with a single. Anthony Rojas is up. Rojas singled in the first, and then he got on via the error in the second. He's been on both times. There's a fire over to first base by Staff. Garcia goes and picks up the balls. He got away from him a little bit. Quickly back was Kevin Schreiner. It's not often you have your leadoff hitter, your catcher, and that's what Schreiner is. He bats leadoff for the Cougars. No balls, no strikes. There's a ball outside to Rojas. Top of the 4th, 4-1 Pflugerville. All their runs came in the top of the second inning. That is Pflugerville's runs came in the top of the second, and then in the bottom of the third, Manor put one on the board. The runner's going, throw down towards second base, and they've got in time and just gets through. So Beltran threw it down there. They're not able to make the play out there. It gets past Vasquez into center field. Ethan Jimenez picks it up, tosses it back in. I call that a stolen base by Jimenez, and so he's down at second base in scoring position now for Rojas. That was a ball, so it's 2 balls, no strikes to Rojas. Rojas, the 3-hitter for the Cougars. Again, been on both times tonight. There's a pitch in the dirt. It's going to go 3-0. First base open right now. You've got Ozzie Tackett, the right fielder, is up next. 2 down, 4-1. Pflugerville, Connally, Cougars with the lead. Staff looks in, comes home, comes set, and taken all the way. Nice pitch by Staff to Rojas, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. So far in this inning, Staff has 2 strikeouts. There's a single and then a stolen base that put Schreiner on second. And this is your 4th batter here in this frame. Staff comes on. There's a shot towards third. Gets past the outstretched attempt there at third base, and they hold the runner. It was a really nice job by Marcus Gonzalez. Just got past Dominic Picasso out there at third with the dive attempt. Marcus Gonzalez gets to it quickly and holds the runner, keeps him at third base as Schreiner stopped there. It's a hit by Anthony Rojas. He's down at first base, and now you've got runners on the corners with 2 out. Ozzie Tackett, the right fielder's up. Tackett flied out to the shortstop, that being Julian Vasquez, back in the first. In the second, he was hit by a pitch, got stranded down at first base. We've got a pinch runner, actually. Let me make sure. Looks like we do actually have a pinch runner on the plate. Down at third base. I will double check that. Staff's going to be looking in. Get the sign again. Runners on the corners. Ozzie Tackett up. Quick timeout called. There's a quick throw over to first. Almost got Anthony Rojas napping over there. We're not successful with that. Jared Howard, looks like down at third base. Staff comes home. Well, that's a good-looking pitch. Boy, that's a tough one. Home plate umpire still looking at it. Boy, that's a tough one. That's a really pretty pitch. Must have been just barely inside. Runners on the corners. It's a big position right here. Need to pick up this out. There's a ball fouled straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, resetting this top of the 4th. First batter, Nick Ramirez, struck out. Ramirez batted both in the top of the 3rd and top of the 4th. He did so because his first at-bat wasn't completed. Then you have a single by Schreiner. He's down at 3rd after the stolen base. And then the single by Anthony Rojas. Pitches high. David Webster with a strikeout. Really nice pitch by Staff off the outside part of the plate. And now you've got Ozzie Tackett up. 2 balls, 1 strike here in the top of the 4th. Runners 1st and 3rd. Staff looks over towards 3rd. He comes home. There's a foul ball back. So 2-2. Runners on the corner. We'll see here what he's able to do. He's been working the inside part of the plate quite a bit tonight. Except, that one pitch a second ago to David Webster. He got him swinging off the plate on the outside. We'll see if he does the same here towards Tackett. Comes outside. There's a shot straight towards center field. It's back deep, and it's going to be caught out there in center. Ethan Jimenez got over in time, settled under it. Ball went a long way, but it's an out. Nice job out there by Ethan Jimenez in center. Nice pitch there by Staff. Gets us through the top of the 4th inning. We have no runs on 1 hit. We have 2 runners that are stranded. And again, that gets us through the top of the 4th with your score 4-1, Pflugerville with the lead. Nice job again by Staff getting through the top of the 4th. Picks up 2 more strikeouts in the top of the 4th. 20 pitches. He was kind of cruising along and then slowed down just a little bit with Rojas and Tackett, but he's able to rally, got through 4 innings. So far tonight, Pflugerville 4 runs through those 4 innings. Again, they all came in the 2nd. Top of the 2nd, they're able to plate 4, and Manor's been chasing ever since then. Manor picked up 1 in the bottom of the 3rd. They're going to be trying to pick up some more again. Again, like to give a quick shout out to Academy Sports and Outdoors for all the ways you love to play. Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to gear up and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store. Gear up this spring at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Listening a little bit to the baseball's always fun because you always have the music going. Sometimes you've got the walk-up music, sometimes you've just got the between innings music, but it's always fun, particularly on a night like tonight.
We've got number 5, Daniel Garcia.
So we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th. Manor. Yeah. Daniel Garcia looks like he's up. Garcia. 0 for 1 tonight. Had a sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd. First pitch swinging down the 3rd base line. They're going to say it's foul. That went just right down the 3rd base line. 3rd base coach was like, oh, that looks fair to me. But they're going to say it was just foul. Boy, Garcia turned on that and flat roped it down the 3rd base line and just barely fouled. So, no balls and a strike. 4-1 game here in Manor. Both pitchers have gone the entire way. Justin Santos out for his 4th inning of work. There's a Curveball, strike. Quickly ahead of Daniel Garcia. No balls, 2 strikes. Boy, that, again, baseball's a game of inches. Garcia's shot down the third base line was off, apparently fouled by just a few inches. Santos overthrows it, comes all the way back to the screen. Again, trying to put a little bit more on it, overthrows it, and typically when you overthrow it, it's going to end up doing just that. You'll put it in the dirt, and sometimes you may get a hitter to chase, but more often than not, you're going to have a ball in the dirt, and frequently it goes past the catcher, as we just saw. Santos with a curve for strike. Taken the entire way was Garcia, and that's a strikeout for Santos. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. So Garcia just laced that first one down the third base line, and then thereafter Santos was able to get 2 more strikes, the last one looking, and he's now picked up his 4th strikeout of the game. Dominic Picasso is up. Picasso swing and a miss, and that's a big swing there by Picasso. This is his first plate appearance. He took over for Eric Fox earlier at third base. No balls, a strike. Another swing and a miss. Got him tied up both times. Santo looks in, gets the sign. He deals, coming home. Boy, almost hit him. Actually curved around a little bit. Picasso turned his shoulder on it and just didn't come back in quite far enough for Santos. But he's a little bit closer to the plate than I think what Picasso was thinking when that pitch was coming in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Probably going to work the outside part. Works it outside low. 2-2. Good eye. Again, if you're Manor right now, you just got to get base runners. You're down by 3. A lot of games still left over. Get some runners on and see if you can make some things happen. So the first runner each inning, always the most important one for your team here. Manor, obviously in the red uniforms as the home team. Pflugerville in their green uniforms as the visiting team. Pflugerville Connally. That pitch is high. It stays upstairs. So you got to give Picasso credit. He has watched and had a really good eye. Gone from a no balls, 2 strikes count to a 3 balls, 2 strikes. We're full count. Pitch coming in. That's off the plate, and he's able to draw a walk. Really nice job by Picasso. Coming back again from no balls, 2 strikes, 4 balls in a row. Picasso down at first base. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Brings up Marcus Gonzalez, the left fielder. Gonzalez was hit by pitch back in the 2nd inning. He got stranded on first base when the inning ended. Here he comes up, so he's officially 0 for 0 tonight. No plate appearances officially, but he's been on base once. Gonzalez ready. Picasso down at first, pitches high and outside. Santos taking a little bit more time than he did early in the game. And if you're Manor, that tells you you're doing a good job of kind of pressuring him, I should say. Forcing him to press a little bit. Santos looks in, looks over to first. There's a pitch just off the outside part of the plate. And I think there you have the Cougar fans didn't quite agree with that call. So, you typically will have a few calls a game that the fans in the stands are very helpful, or not for the umpires, but good eye there by Marcus Gonzalez. Gonzalez looks, swing and a miss on a good pitch there by Santos. Santos took a little bit off on that one. 2 balls and a strike. Down at first base, Dominic Picasso. Again, this is the 2nd game of a 2-game home and home series between these 2 teams. Heading off first base, he's going to steal easily down to 2nd base. No throw as Picasso. He had a huge jump out there, and he's down at 2nd base. And it's a ball, so it's 3-1. There was no throw. There's no way that Kevin Schreiner, the catcher for the Cougars, was going to be able to get Picasso. He had a huge jump, and he goes in with no throw. So Picasso now down in scoring position. 1 out, 3 balls and a strike. Santos comes home, swing and a miss by Gonzalez. Makes it a full count. Hit here. A hit into the outfield. Very good chance of bringing Picasso home with his speed from second base. Picasso with a little lead off second base. Santos looks back, comes home. There's a ball hit sky high over towards the first baseman. He calls everyone off. That's Anthony Rojas, and he catches it. So Picasso is going to be down at second base still with 2 outs now.
Brings up number 2, Julian Vasquez.
Nice job there by Santos coming back from a 2 balls, no strike count. He's able to get Marcus Gonzalez to fly out over towards first base. Brings up the leadoff hitter, Julian Vasquez. Vasquez 0 for 2 tonight. Flied out to left field in the first, struck out at the end of the second. Bases were loaded at that time, and the big strikeout by Santos. There's a ball back, fouled out of play. Down at second base, you've got Dominic Picasso. He walked and then stole second. Santos looks in, bringing it home to Vasquez. Curve just missed. Good eye there by Vasquez. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, runner on second base is Picasso. It's 4-1 Cougars. Pitch is high and outside. Had a little pop to it, but high and outside. Vasquez now is ahead in the count. It's 2 balls and a strike. Again, it's a good hitter's count here for Vasquez. We'll see if Santos gives him something to drive. Santos looks back towards second. Time called at the plate by Vasquez. He steps out. Home plate umpire gives him time. Santos hadn't yet started to come home, so still could call timeout, which is exactly what Vasquez did. They're going to reset. 2 balls strike. Santos looks in. He brings it home. Ball's in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. It's a real good hitter's pitch right here. You've got Nicholas Derelick on deck. Derelick scored the only run of the night for the Mustangs after being hit by pitch and then stole a base. Ends up being brought around and scores on the, I'll tell you that in just a second. Vasquez way outside, and the ball's going to get away. Heading over to third base is going to be Picasso as the ball got away from Schreiner on a pitch way outside. So now you've got runners on the corners with the walk there to Julian Vasquez. Down at third base is Picasso. So again, Derelick, this is his second time up. First inning, grounded out to the pitcher. In the third inning, third inning, he was hit by a pitch, came around, scored a run. On that particular run that he scored, the play was made by Ethan Jimenez, who struck out but hustled down to first base in time and was able, by hustling down to first base in time, to beat the throw on a ball that got away from the catcher. That allowed Derelick to come in to score the first run of the game and the only run so far for Manor. 4-1, runners on the corners, 2 outs. Nicholas Derelick, again, the designated hitter for the Mustangs, the number 2 hitter for the Mustangs. Down at first base, Julian Vasquez. Down at third base, Dominic Picasso. Good speed on the base path. Santos looking both ways. You've got down at first base, Anthony Rojas for the Cougars holding on Vasquez, and down at third, David Webster is trying to do the same. That ball is, boy, he just swung under it. Derelick had a good cut, comes right back to the screen, just got under it. Webster again down at the third baseman for the Cougars, down at third base, holding over at third, Dominic Picasso. Picasso at third, Vasquez at first, and we're going to have a mound visit real quickly. by Coach Williams for the Cougars. May have seen the exact same thing, and that was a ball that Derelick just missed. He was right on it from a timing standpoint, and he just missed it. No balls and a strike. Big batter right here. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Manor would like to close the gap just a little bit, if not all the way. It's 4-1. Of course, the Cougars would like to get the out here and stay up by that 3-run count. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Paul Solomon sitting in for Mike Rose, bringing you this broadcast tonight of Manor Mustangs baseball on Vype Live. Santos, the pitcher for the Cougars, looks in. Runners on the corners, comes home high. Derelick is up. This again is Derelick's third time up. He grounded out in the first, hit by pitch, so officially he's 0 for 1 tonight. He did score a run after being hit by the pitch. He stole second, eventually came around, scored the Manor Mustangs run of the game. 1 ball, 1 strike, and now you've got the runner down at second, I should say. Vasquez took second on pitcher indifference. Smart play by Vasquez. So now you've got 2 runners in scoring position. Strike on that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big pitch coming up right here for Justin Santos for the Cougars. Righty-righty matchup. Comes home high. It's hard to lay off a pitch right there, and that's a really nice job by Derelick. So a single through to the outfield easily can bring in 2 runs and tighten this 4-1 game. 2 outs. Runners on, pitch is low. Tough one, boy, back-to-back pitches, really hard pitches to lay off. Nicholas Derelick did a really nice job. Santos, the pitcher for the Cougars, throws the ball into his catcher, Schreiner, asks for a different ball. Home plate umpire obliges him on that. And we're back at it now. Full count. Runners, second, third. Nobody on first. Full count, 2 outs. There's a base Santos could put him on. Derelick would like to get something to drive right here. Swings and misses. Santos took something off on that. It's a really nice pitch. And Derelick at the last second decided to go ahead and swing at it and just unfortunately missed it. Really good at bat by him. Just not able to put the bat on the ball. And that gets us through 4. Through 4, your score is 4-1. Pflugerville, Connally Cougars with the lead. We'll listen real quickly to the press box's music. So in that inning for Manor, there were no runs, no hits. There were 2 left on base. You had 2 walks in the inning, which ended up being the 2 base runners. And again, that gets us through 4 full innings. Manor did a good job of forcing the Cougars pitcher, Justin Santos, to work. 26 pitches in that particular inning. He's had progressively more in every inning he's pitched tonight. 15, 19, 21, 26. Going back out to the mound. Hunter Staff is back now for his 5th inning of work. 4-1, Pflugerville with the lead. Justin Santos is up. Santos doubled back in the second, scored the first run of the game for Connally, and then struck out in the third. So he is 1 for 2 tonight. First pitch by Staff, strike 1. Other than a few little challenges in that second inning, staff's really done a nice job of getting ahead of the batters. Just a little low. Staff 4 strikeouts. Four of the last 9 batters that faced him before Santos. There's a shot over towards, and that's going to get pat. Nope, it's going to be picked up out there. Nice play by Flores, but that's one Santos roped out towards right field for a single. Hit the ball hard. He doubled out towards right early in the game, back when sun was kind of an issue, and got over Ezekiel Flores out over in right center. This time he ropes it clean between first and second. Looks like we may have a pinch runner down at first base for Justin Santos. I'll try to catch the number in a minute. Cesar Arazipe, the shortstop, is up. This is his 3rd time up. He's singled and struck out. Scored once, turned square to bunt, strike 1, bunted into the ground foul. So Arazipe singled back in the 2nd, scored the 2nd run of the game for Pflugerville. In the 3rd, he struck out. That was the 2nd strikeout of the game for Staff. Runner down at first base. Throw over to first base by Staff, quickly back in time. Runner for Pflugerville, Connally. Still hadn't caught the number yet to be able to tell you who's down at first. Pinch runner there for Santos. Staff looks in. He comes home. There's a bunt at the plate. Coming over quickly, Staff. He fires it to first. Staff is able to make the play. Nice bunt there by Arazipe. Really nice pickup by Hunter Staff. Running down to second base. You got the pinch runner there for Santos. So 1 out. It's going to bring up Felix Salazar. Salazar singled in the 2nd, and then he flied out to center in the 3rd. 1 for 2. He scored the 3rd run of the game back in the 2nd inning. Runner on second base. He chops it down towards 3rd. It's picked up over in 3rd. There's nowhere to go with it. That's one where Dominic Picasso really, there's nothing you can do. And the thing you don't want to do is try to make a play and throw it away. And he didn't. He held it. Looked like he was going to throw to first and wheeled around towards 2nd. And the runner was not moving, but that's, nothing you can do on that sort of play. Nice job there by Picasso. Runners now. 1st and 2nd brings up Easton Babola. Babola again, the only lefty. Babola in the 2nd inning, he walked, scored the 4th run of the game. And then in the 3rd inning, he got on via the error. And then was ultimately tagged out in the rundown. So he's up bunting. He bunts it down the 3rd base line. We'll see if they get the call, and they do. So that is a phenomenal play right there. That's a bunt that went down the 3rd base line. Staff went for it, wasn't able to get it. Picasso comes charging up and is able to, well, let me rephrase. Vasquez comes charging up, is able to make the play over to Picasso. They get the out at 3rd base, get the lead runner. Really nice bunt, but an even better job over at 3rd base. 2 down now. Still have runners at 1st and 2nd. Nick Ramirez is up. Ramirez singled back in the 2nd, and then he struck out in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2, strike 1. Runners 1st and 2nd. 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Staff wheels, deals, and gets the strike. No balls, 2 strikes. That play right there at 3rd base was a bang, bang play. Nice job there by the Mustangs. Really good fielding, able to get the lead runner. Staff's got some pitches he can waste if he wants to now. He's up. No balls, 2 strikes. We'll see if he goes on the outside part of the plate, try to get Ramirez to wave at it. And Ramirez is going to poke it out there pretty deep. It's going to be caught out there. The Ezekiel Flores and Ethan Jimenez were both out there. Ezekiel Flores makes the play, and that's 3 out. Ramirez hit that ball out there a pretty good ways, but it ends up being caught by the right fielder, Ezekiel Flores. So that gets us through the top of the 5th. In that particular frame, Pflugerville, Connally, no runs. They did have a hit. They did have 2 runners on base. So they left 2 on base, but it stays 4-1. We'll take a quick break. We'll bring it right back here in just a second. Again, you're listening and watching Manor Mustangs Baseball on Vype Live.
Hey, buddy, you say you wish someone was covering your favorite high school sports teams? You just couldn't make it to the game and you need to find out now what's going on? Well, my friend, your prayers are answered. Go to Vype, VYPE.com and hit Find Your School to see what Vype is saying about your great community. See for yourself why Vype is the leader in high school sports coverage in Texas. Check us out at Vype, VYPE.com.
Staff. So looking at it, that particular frame, Staff ends up with, by my count, he has 11 pitches. That's by far his best frame of the night. Bottom of the 5th, going to be coming up, unless there's a change, it's going to be Hunter Staff. He'll be leading it off here in the bottom of the 5th. Waiting to see real quickly if there'll be a hitting change, and doesn't look like it. So Staff leading it off. Staff so far tonight singled back in the 1st, was stranded on 1st, flied out to the 3rd baseman, who was really kind of in the position of the shortstop in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2 tonight. This is his 3rd plate appearance of the night. Santos back out again, comes home high. Santos out now for his 5th inning of work. Santos looks in. No outs here, bottom of the 5th, way outside. Again, right now, if you're Manor, you just want base runners, and then you can get them on base, then you can look at bringing them in via hit, via the walk, whatever. You're down 4-1 right now. You just want and need some base runners. There's a strike. Nice pitch there by Santos. Schreiner, the catcher, really did a nice job of kind of positioning and showing his pitcher, Santos, where he wanted the ball. And the Cougars pitcher put it right where he wanted. Now Staff may turn loose on this one. 2 balls, a strike. He watches it. Outside corner, strike 2. Tough one there. 2-2. Again, Manor down 4-1, bottom of the 5th, need to be picking up runs about now. There's a shot right towards the 2nd baseman, and he's able to make the play, just eases it over to 1st. Felix Salazar did. Staff hustling down there, but nice hop out there. Salazar is able to make the play on a hard hit ball and easily flips it over, I should say. Kind of soft tosses it over to 1st base to Anthony Rojas, 1 down. Brings up Beltran. Now, both times Beltran's hit the ball. He's grounded out to the shortstop. Back in the 1st inning, took a nice little hop. In the third inning, it was a laser to the shortstop. There's a deep shot out towards left field. It could be, and it is off the wall as it went out there. Nicholas Ramirez picks it up, getting into second base with the stand-up double is the center, Beltran. Boy, that was a whisker away from being out for a home run. That ball got under it just barely. First pitch swinging, and he puts it out there to the base of the wall. Went out over Ramirez ahead. Ramirez able to scramble back to it, gets it. As a result, is able to hold Beltran, but it's a stand-up double. As he kind of strolls in there to second base, it brings up Ethan Jimenez. Jimenez, the center fielder for Manor. He's 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch swinging, fouled straight back. Just got under it. Jimenez did get on back in the second inning on an error. Ended up being stranded at third base. He ended up striking out in the third, but his hustle is what brought in the Manor run, as he hustled down to first base before the throw was down there. There's a pitch off the plate outside. Because the ball was dropped by the catcher for Connally, as a result, Connally had to throw down to first base. First baseman had to step on the base while holding the ball to complete the strikeout. And Jimenez was able to hustle down there and beat the throw down. So, but for that play, Manor would not have a run in right now. That's one where Nicholas Derelick hustled home because of that heads-up effort by Ethan Jimenez. There's a ball, stays just a little bit high. Good eye there by Jimenez. 2 balls and a strike. Beltran down at second base, tattooed a ball off the base of the fence a couple of pitches ago. Last batter, 1 out. 4-1, Connally with the lead. Santos looks back to second, comes home, it's in the dirt. Nice pick up there by Kevin Schreiner, the catcher, but now it's 3 balls and a strike, so it's a great hitter count for Ethan Jimenez. And, Jimenez, he's got an opportunity to be kind of selective right here in a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Santos comes set, it's down, it's a little bit inside, a little bit down, but inside more than down. Nice job there by Jimenez. Picks up the walk, he's on. He's now on for the second time tonight. And you've got runners on first and second. This is the opportunity that the Mustangs have been looking for. We'll see if there's a pitching change coming up right now for Connally. And that looks like what's going to happen. Try to catch the new pitcher coming in. That's number 9. I'll catch my roster real quick and be able to tell you who the new pitcher is for Connally. Looks like Aldo Garcia is now pitching, taking over for Justin Santos. And Garcia inherits a couple of runners on base, as you've got down at first base, Jimenez, down at second, Beltran. We'll see if Garcia bats for Santos. Santos has had a nice night swinging the bat. He's got a couple of hits tonight. Watching the warm-up pitches here by Aldo Garcia. He's also a righty. One out. Bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 4-1 score for Pflugerville, so we're at a really important time in this particular game. You've got runners again, first and second, so there's an opportunity here for Manor. Most important at bat, perhaps, of the game is getting ready to come up right now, and should be Deuce Adams. Deuce, the second baseman. Deuce has been up twice tonight. Back in the second inning, he singled, got stranded at second base. In the third inning, he grounded out to the second baseman. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Garcia is finishing his warm-up tosses, and Deuce Adams getting ready to head in. It should be about his last warm-up toss now. Home plate umpire's going to dust the plate off a little bit, and Adams is going to come in again. Perhaps the biggest at-bat of the game right now for Manor. You've got one out, you've got runners on first and second. Adams swings the bat well. You're going to have some holes. It looks like that Connolly's going to have the shortstop, Cesar Arazipe, over towards the bag at second. So you've got a nice hole between second or short and third base. Arazipe's trying to dodge back and forth a little bit, so he'll go back towards the bag, and then he'll try to get back over towards the shortstop traditional position to see if he can't, reduce the size of that hole over there, but still plenty of room. First pitch was a ball. Pitch comes in, it's also in the dirt. It's going to be 2 balls, no strikes. Deuce Adams, I can almost guarantee you Adams is going to be taking at this point until Garcia throws a strike. You can almost put it on a tee, and I think that Adams is going to be taking right now. I'd like to see that first strike before he swings at something, even if it is right in there. That ball's just inside. Good eye by Adams, but again, I suspect he was taken all the way. 3 balls, no strikes, runners first and second. Adams would like to add to the runners on base. He's got, again, 1 runner down at second base. That is Beltran with that deep, almost home run. Ball's in the dirt. Nice stop there at the plate by Kevin Schreiner, but that's a 4-pitch walk, and now you got the bases loaded. So nice job there by Deuce Adams. Again, Beltran with that deep shot over the left fielder to the base of the fence with a double, and then you ended up with back-to-back walks to Jimenez. Jimenez walk into the ninth for Justin Santos, then Deuce Adams, and now you got bases loaded with Daniel Garcia up. Garcia, sacrifice bunt back in the second, strikeout in the fourth. 0 for 1 tonight, bases loaded, only 1 out. There's a ball kind of nubbed foul down the third baseline. Should be Dominic Picasso on deck. Having a little conversation there. Coach Cazzoli with Daniel Garcia. Garcia, the big first baseman for the Manor Mustangs. Bases loaded. You got Mustangs on every base. 1 out here, bottom of the 5th. No balls, 1 strike. Aldo Garcia looks in, and that's a called strike. So after throwing 4 pitches to Deuce Adams, all balls, sending him to first base with a free pass, Garcia's come back with 2 pitches and 2 strikes to Daniel Garcia. So Aldo Garcia pitching to Daniel Garcia. Bases loaded with Mustangs. Pitches outside. Really tried to kind of position that one in there, so he just see if he couldn't guide it in there, if you will, as opposed to really throwing it. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Garcia again pitching to Garcia. Aldo Garcia on the mound, looks over to third base, comes set, coming home now. And there's a ball hit to center field. That has a chance to bring in a run on a sack. It's caught out there. Runner's coming home. Tag. There's a throw to the plate, and he's safe in time. Now there's go down to third base, and safe. They're going to say he's out at third base, but the run does come in to score. That was Beltran that came in with the second run of the game. They're going to say that Jimenez was out down at third base, and Garcia with the sac fly out to center field. So that's how the inning ends. But had the opportunity to get even more. He had bases loaded, sac fly, and then you end up with a double play with the catch on the Garcia sac fly, nice sac fly out to center field, and then a bang play at third base. We've seen a couple of those tonight. Jimenez thrown out at third base. So we're now through 5 innings. Manor has closed the gap to 2-4. Manor picks up a run in that inning. They leave one on base. They have that towering double by Beltran to lead it off. So they had 1 run, 1 hit, and they leave 1 on. Again, that gets us through 5 now. It is a 4-2 score. Connally with the lead. I tell you, we'll keep it right here. Enjoy the music being played here out of the press box. Appreciate you joining us tonight, listening to this Vype Live broadcast of your Manor Mustangs baseball. So again, kind of highlighting the upcoming schedule for Manor. Once they finish this series with Connally, Connally again won the first game last Tuesday, 1-0 at Connally. Here is the second game of the home-and-home series. Right now, Connally leads 4-2. You've then got Elgin, an Elgin series, if you will, home and home. It starts here next Tuesday night in Manor against Elgin, and then on Thursday, the Mustangs will travel to Elgin for the completion of that home-home series. Thereafter, the following Tuesday, April the 6th, there's back-to-back games then against Hendrickson on Tuesday and Friday. The first game is going to be at Hendrickson on April 6th, and then here on April the 9th at Manor. Manor then will play Cedar Creek in back-to-backs with home first on the 13th and away on Friday the 16th. Then Pflugerville, starting on the Tuesday the 20th at Pflugerville, here on the 23rd, and then the final series of the regular season will be against Bastrop on Saturday the 24th at Bastrop, and Tuesday the 27th here. So Pflugerville coming up to bat again. It's a 4-2 score going to the 6th inning now. First pitch is high. And we've got Staff back out on the mound, starting his 6th inning of work. Kevin Schreiner, the catcher, is up. There's 2 balls. So 2-0. So Schreiner's up for his 4th time. He flied out to shortstop in the 1st and in the 2nd. Then he got on first base with the single. In the 4th, stole 2nd, got stranded on 3rd. He's now up 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes right now. So he's 1 for 3 coming into this at bat. He's the leadoff batter for Connally. Again, it's not normal to have a catcher. There's a strike. Again, we've seen that several times where Connally's gotten ahead in the count. They're looking to try to pick up a walk with a ball, and they'll fake like they're going to bunt. Staff has had no trouble with that. He does end up walking him though. So kind of lets him head down to first base with the free pass, and it's a 4-2 game with the runner now down at first. Should bring up Webster, but we'll double check and make sure they haven't made a change. Nope, David Webster. Webster singled back in the 1st. He ended up out at second base there. He hit into a fielder's choice in the 2nd, and then in the 4th struck out. 3-pitch strikeout, a really nice 3rd pitch strike on the outside part of the plate by Staff. So runner down at first in Schreiner. Again, a catcher, but a leadoff hitter, so he's obviously got speed. He's got a nice jump. There's a running foul there, and that could hurt, because that ball came off the bat and came up into Webster, and Webster's now down close to first base. That hurts. Ball, he was looking to bunt, so he kind of was trying to run towards first, bunt it, and the ball came off the bat and came right up into him. So we've got an official timeout right now. We've got a little bit of assistance trying to check in on him. You really feel for him, because that's just tough when that ball. Sometimes that ball does funny things coming off the bat, and it sure did right then. And David Webster's down. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back here in just a second. Again, you're listening to Manor Mustangs, and you're watching Manor Mustangs baseball on Vype Live.
For high school sports coverage second to none, discriminating sports fans, booster clubs, and student bodies will tell you Vype stands above the rest. Vype can provide your school and your entire school district with complete digital video streaming and live broadcast coverage at prices that fit your budget. Find out more information at Vype, VYPE.com.
VYPE.com.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Texas. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Meet Josh.
Hi, everybody.
Josh is a high school basketball player, solid shooter, great teammate.
Hey, don't forget my tenacious D.
And he's my son.
Oh.
So, what does Josh do to be the best basketball player he can be?
I play tennis.
Studies show that student athletes here in Texas who play more than one high school sport are more likely to excel. Tennis does more than improve Josh's conditioning. It gives him a fresh competitive outlet, reduces the risk of injury by cross-training, and introduces him to different coaching techniques and new friends.
Don't get me wrong, hoops are my first love. Tennis just gives me a little break.
So when the new season begins, Josh isn't burned out on basketball. He's eager to play, and you can see the difference in his game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
So here we are. Again, one strike. The home plate umpire highlights. New batters come in, so one strike. I will get you the name of the young man that's just come in.
Number 8, Jared.
Looks like Jarrett Howard is up at bat right now. So one strike, staff looks in, comes home. There's a bunt down the third base line. That's a really nice bunt. Firing over to first just in time. Nice play down there by Picasso. So really good job coming off the bench over there by Jarrett Howard. No chance to warm up. Just got out there, bunted it. Sacrifice bunt down to second on the sacrifice bunt is Schreiner. And a really nice play there down at third base by Picasso. Came up firing and got the first out of the inning. Number 7, Anthony Rojas is up now. Rojas singled back in the first. He got on via the error in the third and then singled in the fourth. He's been on all 3 times and he's about to be on again. He got hit, turned his back, and got hit in the back, so he's down at first base now. So now you got runners at first and second, and we'll see if we have a pitching change coming up here for Manor, or if this is just going to be a discussion. My sense is it may be more the latter, but we're about to find out. So again, Jared Howard just came in the game for Pflugerville. Connally, first pitch, bunts it down to third base. Nice play over there by Picasso. Picks up the ball, fires it over to first base in time to Garcia, which is able to get Howard with the first out of the inning. Heading down towards second base on that was Schreiner. And then right after that first pitch, Anthony Rojas hit by pitch, and that's exactly what it was. Staff is still in. It was just a mound visit to discuss things. So Ozzie Tackett comes up, 1 out. Tackett, the right fielder for Pflugerville. Tackett's been up 3 times. Hit by pitch 1. First pitch swinging. It's going to come just back outside the reach of Carlos Beltran as that ball was fouled back. So in the first inning, Tackett flied out to shortstop. In the second inning, hit by pitch, he ended up being stranded on first base. And then he flied out to center field with a deep shot in the fourth inning. So officially, he's 0 for 2 tonight. Runners first and second. No balls, 1 strike, and a 4-2 game here in the top of the 6th. Square into bunt. He bunts it at the base, and it's foul. Bunted it right down to home base, and it pops right up. Nice job there. Beltran was ready. Staff was crashing in, and it goes foul. And so now with the no ball, 2 strike count, he could bunt again, but it's not as likely. If he bunts it foul, he's out on the 3rd strike. So more likely than not, he's going to be swinging away. Staff way ahead now. No balls, 2 strikes. Runners first and second. Pitch is just off the first base side. Garcia was crashing in from first base as if he was expecting the bunt again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Garcia in on the grass down at first base. Third base, you got Picasso. He's just in front of the bag, but still on the dirt. Pitch comes home. Outside's going to get past Beltran, go to the backstop, and both runners are going to move up. Staff points to his chest, said, my fault. He just overthrew it a little bit, and as a result, now you've got 2 runners in scoring position. Again, only 1 out, but it is a 2-2 count now to Tackett. Got to try to find a way to keep the ball in the infield, and as I say that, the infielders all creep in. You've got Garcia, Adams, Vasquez, and Picasso all right on the grass or right around the grass dirt. There's a pitch low. Goes full count. So Tackett's come back from being in a 0-2 hole, and now it's got a full count. You got first base open, so you got to be careful with the pitch here if you're Staff. But you do have runners now, second and third, and a full count. Staff looks in, fires, comes in. That's a beautiful pitch, and apparently inside. So that's about where he wanted that pitch. He threw it right where he wanted it, froze Tackett, and Tackett's got good eyesight. He got better eyesight than me, apparently, because home plate umpire said, nope, inside, and as a result, bases loaded. Gonna have another mound visit, and we may be about to see a pitching change. And we are going to see, looks like a pitching change. Daniel Garcia, the first baseman, is now moved over to pitch. Garcia inherits a jam. He's got runners on all bases now that he's going to be dealing with. Looks like Staff heads over to first, so they just switch positions. And the good news is that you've got bases full, so you've got an opportunity for, force at home. You can play at any particular base. You've got double play opportunities all over the diamond. We'll see what the key, though, for Garcia. We'll see what he can do. The key is you got to throw strikes. And do not give him a cheap run by walking him in. You've got to just trust your pitches. Do not overthrow it. Trust your pitches. And force them to put the ball in play. And if they put it in play, then they put it in play. But you can't make it easy on them. We'll see who comes up. I'll double check, but I think it's Aldo Garcia. So Garcia came in for the Cougars for the starting pitcher, Justin Santos, in the last inning. Garcia was able to get out of the jam there. Manor did score a run, but you ended up with the throw out at third base, so the double play with the sac fly to center and then the throw out at third base, trying to advance on the sac fly. So that's what made it a 4-2 game. So again, you've got Aldo Garcia coming up to bat. So your backup or relief pitchers, if you will, for both teams are now facing each other. Garcia, the relief pitcher for the Cougars, has come up to bat, and the relief pitcher now for Manor, Daniel Garcia, is out there facing his first batter with bases loaded. Garcia, first plate appearance of the night. Nowhere to put him. First pitch in, strike. Really pretty pitch, and sometimes that's the hardest one, is that first one. No balls and a strike. Second pitch, also a strike. Come right at him. If you can find a way to get through this batter, pick up the out without having a ball in play on this, gives you a chance then with 2 outs, bases loaded. Pitch comes in, just a little bit outside. Nice pitch there, and good eye by Aldo Garcia, but a really nice pitch there by Daniel Garcia. Down at first base is Tackett, second base is Rojas, third base is Schreiner. There's a pitch and just a little low, so he's not missing by much. It does go 2-2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is a key pitch right here. You don't want to go full count, give the runners a chance to be in motion. There's a swing and a miss, and that's the strikeout we were just talking about needing, and really nice pitch. The nice thing Daniel Garcia right there did is he took a little bit off and put Aldo Garcia ahead of the pitch. As a result, able to pick up the strikeout. First batter he's faced, gets the strikeout, brings up Cesar Arrecife. He's been up 3 times tonight. First time he singled, scored the second run, struck out the second time. First pitch swinging, just missed, came straight back at me. And then he had a sacrifice bunt back to the pitcher. So he's officially 1 for 2 with 1 hit and 1 scored run. 0-1 here. Bases loaded. This is a really tough spot. There's another nice pitch. So he's come in tonight, Daniel Garcia. He's come in and been dealing, as they say, so far. But again, he's got no choice. You've got runners on every base right now with Cougars on first, second, and third. No balls, 2 strikes. There's a shot. It's going to go deep out to left field. Marcus Gonzalez settles under it and has it out there. And you got to tip your cap right there to Daniel Garcia. He did a really nice job coming in relief for starting pitcher Hunter Staff. He's able to get 2 outs, both with the bases full. And that takes us through the top of the 6th. So in the top of the 6th, Pflugerville ends up with no runs, no hits. They do leave 3 players on base. You had the 2 walks and the hit by pitch, but they do not score a run. So that was a big conclusion to that frame by Daniel Garcia and by the Mustangs. It's going to take us to the bottom of the 6th. 4-2 game here in the bottom of the 6th now. And got to think that double checking, and it does look like Aldo Garcia is back on the mound. He came in relief in the last inning for starting pitcher Justin Santos. Ended up getting out of the inning, gave up a run in that inning, and it became a 4-2 game. So here we are, bottom of the 6th. It's a key point in this game now for Manor. You'd like to find a way to pick up a run or 2, preferably here in the bottom of the 6th before you get to the 7th, where this thing may come to a conclusion. Looking at from a Manor standpoint, Unless a change is made, it'll be Picasso leading off, followed by Marcus Gonzalez. We'll see. I'm looking down and not sure yet, but if it is Picasso, Picasso came on in relief at third base for Eric Fox. Picasso one time up so far, walked, stole second, and he got stranded. Well, he got thrown out, I should say, at third base in the last frame. Last few warm-up pitches coming for Aldo Garcia for Connally. Again, if you didn't hear earlier, after tonight, this is the completion of the home-and-home series. The next series is going to be against Elgin. It will start here next Tuesday night, March the 30th, the home game for your Manor Mustangs, and then the away game will be on Thursday. So it's a Tuesday-Thursday series, March 30th, April 1st. March 30th at home, and then April 1st at Elgin. Dominic Picasso is up. Garcia looks in, comes home, pitches inside. Again, last time up, Picasso drew the walk. Did a really nice job as a full count, drew the walk with a good eye, and trying to do the same right here. Perhaps. We'll see. 1 ball, no strikes. That ball's fouled back. Good cut. Just got under it. Again, Aldo Garcia on the mound for the Cougars. 1 ball, 1 strike. Comes set, Dominic Picasso. Strike 2 to Picasso. It's a nice pitch there by Garcia. Slid it in on the inside part of the plate. One ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Overthrew it just a little bit. Again, you'll see that when pitchers overthrow, the tendency to put it in the dirt. It's where the pitching coaches will tell you just got to trust your stuff a little bit. Let rear back and try to put a little bit extra on it and have a tendency to come over it a little too far, release point a little bit different. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's inside's going to hit him, and it does. And again, Picasso does, as they say, he wore it. He just hung in there, knew it was coming, and he let it hit him, and he hurries down to the first base line. Really nice job there. Those don't feel good, but it's sure impressive with when the players will just go ahead and wear it, as they say. That's going to bring up Marcus Gonzalez. Gonzalez been up twice tonight, hit by pitch himself back in the second, and then he flied out to first base in the fourth. No outs. Runner down at first base. Swing and a miss. Kind of waved at that one at the last second. Like to see, again, as a batter, same thing as a pitcher. Just trust your swing here. Go ahead and, let it go. Trust your swing, particularly early in the count where you're not having to worry about protecting the plate. Throw over to first base. Picasso gets back easily. Aldo Garcia back on the mound. Pflugerville up again, 4-2, bottom of the 6th. There's a fake at the bunt, and they're going to say he got a piece of it, and it goes back to the screen. Home plate umpire throws his hands up, indicates that it was fouled at the plate. So hustling back to first base is going to be, not even hustling, just going back to first base is going to be Picasso. And quickly ahead of Marcus Gonzalez, Aldo Garcia is ahead. No balls, 2 strikes. Gonzalez looked like he was going to bunt, then tried to pull it back, clipped it, and as a result, there goes the runner. There's a shot. It goes out to left field. It's deep out there. Going to have to get back. It's caught. Is Picasso. Gonzalez gave it a good ride out there, As a result, Picasso was off on the pitch. He ends up having to come back. Gonzalez again gave it a good ride. Nicholas Ramirez settled under it out there and was able to get the ball back in time. 1 out. It's going to bring up Julian Vasquez. Vasquez, the leadoff hitter for your Manor Mustangs. 3rd time up tonight. Vasquez, he flied out to left field back in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, walked, got to second base where he was stranded in the 4th. Runner down at first base, going. He skies it, and having to hustle back to first base is going to be Picasso, and it's caught out there by the shortstop, Arazipe. So Vasquez just first pitch swing and skied that to the shortstop, and 2 down now. Just missed it. It's going to bring up Nicholas Derelict. So Picasso down at first, hit by pitch, and then you've got a deep fly out to left field by Gonzalez and a fly out to the shortstop by Vasquez. Derelict up, throw over to first by Garcia. Back in time is Picasso. Derelict's the designated hitter. He grounded out to pitcher back in the 1st. Hit by pitch, scored the 1st run of the game for Manor in the 3rd, and struck out in the 4th. Pitch comes in, there's a shot again, gets under, it's going to be out. It could be in trouble area, but it's caught out there by the right fielder. Ball hung up there for Ozzie Tackett, and you had 3 balls hit up in the air and caught that inning by Connally. And that gets us through the end of 6, and a little bit of a hole and to climb out of right now. First you got to do is you got to get out of the top of the 6th, and then try to put, or top of the 7th, and try to put some runs on the board in the bottom of the 2nd. Score remains 4-2 Connally in that particular half inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was 1 left on base. Again, that started with the hit by pitch. Picasso got hit and got stranded down there at first, because after him you had the 3 flyouts that occurred thereafter. So again, we're through 6 full innings, and your score is Connally 4, Manor 2. We'll bring it right back here in just a second. You're listening to and watching the Manor Mustangs baseball on Vype Live.
Meet
Hi, everybody.
Josh is a high school basketball player, solid shooter, great teammate.
Hey, don't forget my tenacious D.
And he's my son.
Oh,
So, what does Josh do to be the best basketball player he can be?
I play tennis.
Studies show that student athletes here in Texas who play more than one high school sport are more likely to excel. Tennis does more than improve Josh's conditioning. It gives him a fresh competitive outlet, reduces the risk of injury by cross-training, and introduces him to different coaching techniques and new friends.
Don't get me wrong, hoops are my first love. Tennis just gives me a little break.
So when the new season begins, Josh isn't burned out on basketball. He's eager to play, and you can see the difference in his game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Pitch inside, leading off, top of the 7th is Felix Salazar. Salazar, the second baseman for Connally. Salazar is been on twice tonight. There's a strike, 1-1 from Daniel Garcia. Garcia's in his 2nd inning of work now. So Salazar scored once, scored back in the 2nd inning, the 3rd run. Pitch is low, and that was after a single in that particular inning. He flied out to center field back in the 3rd, and then he was on in the 5th. There's a shot towards 3rd or short, picked up there by the shortstop. Got to fire quickly. It's going to be a tough play, not able to make it. And heading down quickly to second base is Salazar. He's going to stop there at second base. It's thrown there. That was really going to be a tough play by Vasquez, and He tried to gun it over in time. It got away over at first base, and so heading down to second is Salazar. That'll be a hit and an error on the play. Ball just kind of had eyes as it got past Picasso and was slow roller towards Vasquez, and he came up firing as best he could. Easton Babola is up, the center fielder. Lefty, runner down at second. There's a ball outside. That's where Manor is completely expecting, understandably so, the bunt. And so they get the proverbial wheel play again on as you have your third baseman and you got your first baseman both crashing with Picasso and Hunter's staff both crashing on the play. There's a ball outside. So 2 balls, no strikes. Babola walked and scored the 4th run back in the 2nd. He got on via error in the 3rd, and then a fielder's choice, to third base in the 5th. Pitch comes home. It's going to be a strike on the outside part of the plate. It's a really good pitch there by Daniel Garcia. Babola held off of it, thinking it may be off, but it was right on the edge of the outside part of the plate. Staff's been crashing in each time. Again, runner down at second base in Salazar. Looks back to second. Ball's inside. It's going to be bunted out, and that's going to be a really tough play, and they're not going to get him. Really good bunt there by Babola, and so he's on first with a single, with a bunt single, and heading down to third base on the play was Felix Salazar. Babola deadened the ball out there between catcher and the pitcher, and that's a tough play, and he hustled down the line quickly. So now you've got runners on the corners and nobody out. Got to try to really bear down and pick up some outs here. Nick Ramirez, the left fielder, is up for the Cougars. Ramirez singled back in the 2nd. He struck out in the 3rd and then flied out to right field in the 5th. He's looking to bunt. He bunts it foul and bunts it out of play. Comes over the screen and out of play. No balls and a strike. Again, runners on the corners, 4-2 game, top of the 7th. Nobody out. No balls and a strike. Daniel Garcia on the mound in relief. Looks to third. Comes set. And he comes home a little high. Ramirez showing bunt, pulls it back. You've got Babola down at first base, who just got on with the bunt single. Down at third base, Salazar. Salazar got on with what would go down as a hit also over to the shortstop. Really tough play. Took second base on an error and then took third base a second ago on the bunt single by Babola. First and third, 1-1 count. Pitch is going to be low. A nice stop there behind the plate by Beltran. 2 balls and a strike. You want to keep this a 2-run game, obviously. It's 4-2 right now, top of the 7th. You want to keep in close proximity. Don't give yourself a whole lot more you have to do. It makes it that much tougher in the bottom of the frame. But that's a tall tale right now. There's a nice pitch in there by Daniel Garcia. Garcia, hit the spot perfectly. Nice job framing it by Carlos Beltran. Makes it a 2-2 count. And chances are Nicholas Ramirez is not going to be showing bunt on this particular one. Probably going to be swinging away. Runners first and third. Mustangs content to give up the run. They're at double play depth. There's a swing and a miss, and that's a huge strikeout, and you got a nice fist pump there by Carlos Beltran telling Garcia, nice job. Big strikeout right there as he came back on that particular one against Ramirez, and that's the first out. And that's one where the Mustangs were content to give up a run. Again, they were at double play depth. The good news right now is that you're sitting in a situation where while you have runners on first and third, you're playing for the double play here. You've got the catcher, runs well, Kevin Schreiner, who's up. Schreiner flied out to short in the first and the second. There's ball one. He ended up singling in the fourth and walked in the sixth. So he has been on twice. He's been up. This is his fifth time up. Runners first and third. One out. Pitch comes in high. So Garcia got behind Ramirez and then came back and picked up the strikeout with 3 strikes. We'll see what he can do here to Schreiner. Schreiner, the leadoff hitter, again catcher for the Cougars. One out, first and third. It's a good pitch on the outside part of the plate. Garcia's done a good job making those pitches when he's had to so far tonight. Salazar down at third. Babola over at first. You've got Dominic Picasso for the Mustangs holding Salazar on at third. Pitch comes in, it's going to be outside. It's going to come to the backstop, and the runner's going to come in and score. So that one just got away from Beltran, and Salazar comes in and scores the 5th run of the game. Hustling down to second base is Babola, and that's a tough one right there. You're now in a 3-run hole at this point, and now heading over to third base, I should say, is Babola, as he hustled all the way to third on that play. So ball got behind or past, if you will. Beltran got back to the screen. Salazar comes in, and Babola runs all the way from first to third. And he looks like he's bluffing coming home. There's a swing and a miss on a pitch to Kevin Schreiner. Now we're full to Schreiner. 1 out, 5-2 now. Big run there for the Cougars. There's a foul back. Goes back behind us. It's going to stay full count. Garcia comes set, comes in. That ball is skied high. It's going to go out of play. Staff hustled after it, as did Beltran, but they ran out of real estate. That ends up back into the first row, if you will, of the seats. As high as it was, if they had more room, they'd have gotten to it. They both hustled over. Staff showing some speed from first base. Stays full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here to Schreiner. Pitch comes in. That ball is hit down the first base line, and it's going to be foul. Staff with a beautiful diving stop there. But it's just about a foot or 2 foul down the first base line. He would have made the play at first and kept the runner at third. So got his uniform a little dirty. Stays full count. Ball goes outside. Nice plate appearance by Schreiner as he's able to coax a walk there, and he's down at first base. Again, now you've got first and third, so it's not all bad. It is a 5-2 game. You'd like to pick up the double play right here. Should be. Got a new batter coming in, number 19. I'll catch the player's name for Pflugerville. So number 19 is Alejandro Ruiz. So Ruiz is now the batter. Hustling down to second base right there on that pitch was Schreiner, so he takes out the double play. Ruiz has come in for Jared Howard, who came in for David Webster. That pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. So again, you have runners now at third in Babola and second at Schreiner. 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a strike in there. Nice pitch by Garcia. Put himself in a position where you really need to find a way to get the strike out here, or have a ball on the infield that can keep the runners where they are. Pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Babola is coming off third base quite a bit, and you just got to keep your confidence when you're on the mound. Try not to let that distract you, but he is hustling off third base And there's a swing and a miss. Nice job. And again, you keep your confidence. Garcia did just that. He picks out a strikeout. It's his second strikeout of the inning. You do have runners now at second and third, but it is 2 outs. You'd like to keep this now to only 1 run given up in this inning in a 3-run game. Anthony Rojas is up next. Rojas singled all the way back in the first. He also singled in the fourth. He got on via an error in the third, and he was hit by pitch in the seventh. So he's been on all 4 times tonight. Officially, he is 2 for 2. Strike 1 to him. That's a pretty pitch. He's come in dealing tonight, Daniel Garcia has. Did give up the 1 run so far, and that was to Felix Salazar, who singled and then came all the way around, scored a minute ago on the pass ball. No balls, 2 strikes, pitch comes in, there's a shot towards short. Picked up over there? No, it's not picked up over there. It's going to be a run in. The ball it was hit hard and just kind of got to Julian Vasquez a little too quickly and not able to make the play. And so heading down to first base is Rojas. Down to third base goes Schreiner. Coming in to score with the 6th run is Babola. Brings up Ozzie Tackett. Ozzie Tackett's the right fielder. Flied out to shortstop in the first. He was hit by pitch in the second. Flied out to center field in the fourth, and then he walked in the 6th. Runners on the corners again, first and third. 2 down. There's a nice pitch there, strike 1. So going into the top of the 7th, it was a 2-run game. The Cougars have come in here in the 7th and have added a couple more. And now you got to preserve and keep them from adding more than that. Runners on the corners. Nice pitch, 2 quick strikes as Garcia has gotten ahead of Ozzie Tackett. We'll see if Coach Williams has Rojas off at first base. Probably not. No, he is. I wondered about that. Ball's going to get away. Runner's going to come in. Going to be no play at the plate, and that's going to be a ball that got away, and Schreiner comes in and scores. So heading down towards second base is Rojas. It was a little bit of a delayed steal. The ball then got away, and as a result, Schreiner comes in with the 7th run. It's 3 runs so far here in the top of the 7th inning. Runner down at second, 1 ball, 2 strike count. Tack it up, pitches inside, 2-2. Oh, there you go. Got to send him down to first on a pitch they think hit him. So we got a little questioning coming up right now, try to get a little clarification as to what happened. Again, Tackett was up. He's now down at first. You have a runner down at second base in Rojas. Coach Connally trying to get clarification from the home plate umpire as to whether the ball hit Tackett or are they calling catcher interference, which would make sense since he didn't swing, so it would have to be that it hit him. But we'll see. Again, trying to get that clarification. Apparently that actually what was going on, it looks like we had a question about the batting order. Aldo Garcia is up next. Cesar Arizipe, had come out to bat, and so that's what Coach Connally was trying to get clarification on, and he was right that the next batter should have been Aldo Garcia. So down at first base with the hit by pitch is Tackett. Down at second base is Rojas. Swing and a miss by Garcia. Nice job there by Coach Connally. Keeping up with the lineup card and figured out that Garcia should have been up, not Arizipe. No balls and a strike. It's no balls and 2 strikes. One more of those, and then you go to the bottom of the 7th. Now you've created a little bit more of a hole with 3 runs in the top of this inning, but you want to limit the damage at this point with runners on first and second to just those 3. There's a pitch, swing and a miss, and that does get us through the top of the 7th. But that was a tough inning there for the Mustangs. They end up giving up 3 runs in that again, which makes it 7-2, and a much bigger hill to climb. 3 runs, and there were only 2 hits given up in that inning. So 3 runs on 2 hits. You end up with 2 left on base. Makes it again 7-2 game as we go to the bottom of the 7th. So, it's trying to make it a little bit more challenging for yourself, and that's exactly what the Mustangs have done. Is they have created a few more challenges. It's not insurmountable, but it's sure not going to be easy. So you come to the bottom of the 7th inning, down by 5 runs. Got to get the 5 to tie and then send it to extra, or you might as well go ahead and get 6 and win it in the bottom of the 7th. Looks like going back out to the mound is Aldo Garcia. They kept Garcia in. He was the last batter in the top of the 7th, so it's pretty obvious they're going to send him back in the bottom of the 7th, and so he'll go back out. He took over in relief for starting pitcher Justin Santos. And now's the rally time for your Manor Mustangs. It's going to be a big rally, but I've seen a lot of different things when it comes to high school baseball, and a 5-run deficit has been handled many times by many teams, even in the 7th inning. So wouldn't surprise me a bit to see the Mustangs come out. Of course, the biggest hitter then is the very first one. Got to set the tone, get somebody on base, whether it's a hit, a walk, hit by batter, error, whatever. You get them on base and then get things going. And once you get it going, things start to kind of feed off itself. So Hunter Staff comes up. He's leading off here in the bottom of the 7th. Staff singled back in the 1st. He flied out to 3rd in the 3rd. He grounded out, in the 5th to 2nd. So he's 1 for 3 tonight. He was the starting pitcher tonight for your Mustangs. Pitch comes in. There's a shot towards center. Deep out there. Center fielder's looking back and makes the play out there. My goodness. Easton Babola. He made it a lot more interesting, and that was a ball that Staff hit a long way. It goes down as an out, but boy, he hit it well and hit it deep. Just nice job there by Babola. Thought he had it rather casually, and then he had to go back a little bit, and he's playing deep already. Carlos Beltran up. Beltran watched his first pitch go wide. Strike 1. Beltran doubled in the 5th with a ball off the wall, base of the wall, out in left field. Came in to score the 2nd run of the game for the Mustangs. Garcia looks set, comes home. That ball's inside, it's going to hit him. And it does. That's one that if you're going to get hit, wasn't a bad one to get hit with. It was kind of an off-speed pitch that just stayed inside. It didn't break. And as a result, down at first base goes Beltran. Got to have base runners, so nice job there. Beltran does his job. Ethan Jimenez comes up. Jimenez got on via the error back in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 3rd, and he walked in the 5th. There's a shot foul. He turned on that and took it into the side fence, way foul down the left field side. You got one of the Mustangs running out to pick up that foul ball, keep it out of the field of play. So runner now down at 2nd, Beltran. He had ended up taking 2nd, kind of on an indifference, as they say. Ball's high, so 1-1 to Jimenez. Stays out of the double play, for the most part, if you will, down at second now. So 7-2, 5-run deficit, 1 out, runner at second. Beltran, there's a ball in the dirt. It's 2 balls and a strike. Deuce Adams on deck. As we talked about, just need base runners. That's the key, and then worry about runs thereafter. But you got to get guys on base. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch there. Really nice pitch. Umpire goes out and gives the pitcher a ball. Again, Beltran now out at second base, hit by pitch, took second on indifference. Jimenez batting. It's his 4th plate appearance tonight. Garcia comes set, looks back, comes home. There's a fly ball that goes sky high. Home plate is going to be where it is. Oh, it's going to drop. That's a really hard one right there. Schreiner and Aldo Garcia were not quite on the same page, but that ball was skied by Jimenez. It's about as high a ball as you can hit on the infield. He just hit it straight up in a really tough play for a catcher when that ball starts curling, which is what it did. Schreiner threw his mask off, tried to get set under it, and ball just kept curling back. Foul, but kept curling back. So staying alive is Jimenez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And just missed. I was waiting for that one. That was really close. You can say Ethan Jimenez has a great eye because he realized that was going to be a ball. And I would say that the bulk of the Cougars fans did not. So full count. Just got to get on base here any way you can. There's a swing and a miss. That's one where Garcia took something off it and was able to pick up the strikeout. And that's 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th again. It's been done before, but it makes it a lot harder rally with 2 down, 7-2 game. Brings up Deuce Adams. Adams singled back in the 2nd inning, grounded out in the 3rd to the second baseman. He walked back in the 5th. He's been on twice tonight. First pitch, just low. Daniel Garcia on deck. Down at second base is Beltran. Beltran got on with the hit by pitch. He then took second on indifference. Garcia looks back, comes set, comes home. Oh, that's a tough one on the inside part of the plate. So that's a ball on right about knee-high, maybe slightly under knee-high, inside part, maybe on the edge of the black. It's a good pitch there by Aldo Garcia, and if you get that call, you keep going to it. 1 ball, 1 strike. He goes off the plate the other way. 2-1. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Coming up on 3 hours tonight for this game. There's a shot towards shortstop. Picking it up over at shortstop and firing over to first base. And just in time was Cesar Arazipi, and that is the 3rd out on a ground out to shortstop. And that's going to bring us to the end of the game. So at this, in the 7th inning, for your Mustangs, you have no runs, no hits. You did have 1 left on base, and the final score of the game tonight is Pflugerville Connally Cougars 7. Your Manor Mustangs 2, and Manor ends up losing the home-and-home series, if you will, to Pflugerville. Pflugerville won the other night 1-0, and then won tonight 7-2. Again, just to give you a quick update on upcoming games. So the upcoming games for your Mustangs include next Tuesday night, back here against Elgin. That's on Tuesday, March the 30th. And then on April the 1st, April Fools will be at Elgin That's Thursday night. So next Tuesday, home game for your Mustangs. It's going to bring us to the end of the game tonight. I appreciate the opportunity to sit in for Mike Rose tonight. Appreciate you tuning in. Wish I'd been able to bring a different result in this evening. But do appreciate you watching and listening to the MANOR Mustangs baseball game tonight on Vype Live. Everyone be safe. Have a great night. Thank you.